or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
Listen, here's the secret to your holiday savings. Ready? You can get gifts starting at just $3.99. Toys from Disney, Mattel, Barbie, Sonic, Looney Tunes, Fisher-Price, Play-Doh, Nerf, Hot Wheels, and more. You can put a bow on these brands and won't break the bank. Adidas, Champion, Puma, Reebok, Converse, True Religion, DKNY, and Levi's are all at prices so low, they're basically a gift. The savings are hiding at You can put a bow on these brands and won't break the bank.
On Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
It is Dom time. Welcome in. The only problem, Dawn and I just talking about this, and we'll play you, there's another cut of this too, of the Secret Service, the final hearing today on the assassination of President Trump. They take too long. You know, I can still do this job, Dan, and just put me in charge of that President Trump. Give me power to force them to actually work. You're not going to show up at 10 o'clock. You're not going to go out for lunch. You get a bathroom break. 4.5 minutes. That's what we have. That's what you're going to do.
That's a long one, 4.5 minutes.
That's right. If it's any longer than that, you're out. We're continuing the testimony. Get the hell out of here. So finally, we get this scrum going on today. Now, Dave McCormick is here. First interview, I think, since he's become the senator-elect, at least in radio, that I know of. He was there at the shooting. And Sean Parnell, who's a friend to the show, big time, is on at 12:30. He's on because he defended Pete Hegseth against this, it never goes away, this Jane Marr for New Yorker. She's in on everything. With these charges that are all anonymous against Pete Hegseth. And Parnell said, I was there when we had this veterans organizations. There were no financial shenanigans. There was none of this other stuff. I would have known I was there. For that, she then writes, oh, great. What a joke. Pete Hegseth's character witness was accused of choking his wife. This is the level. This is where we are. Now, look, I think there are some great people here. It's Trump's decision, ultimately. Trump gave permission to Hegseth to go out there and engage in this media blitz. You know, Dan, we ought to ask him to come on here. I mean, definitely. I mean, he's done these others that are sympathetic to this and get what the stakes are. I'll put him down there for that. I don't know the contact. Well, I do know the contact, and he's on today at 12:30. We'll just ask him. Hey, any hope of getting him on? You know, come on. This is a good place. We reach a lot of people to be picked up. Why not? There are some interesting people on the list, though. And I'm not saying Trump is going to pull the plug. This looks like there's momentum back on his side at this point. It's just, again, the time element. Why can't we hold hearings now? Oh, we need our break. How about holding the hearings now? Like this, well, we need our paper. What? What more do you need here? And then let's get your vote. I don't even know when they're going to do the hearings for this. It's important to get this done so that the nation has a defense head. But a couple names have surfaced. One, Ron DeSantis. Dan, you may not have seen this. I only got it through a source. The short list, Wesley Hunt. Remember the first time we had Congressman Wesley Hunt on? He came here with Byron Donalds, helicopter pilot, talks about it bluntly. Oh, man. If that guy were the head of the Department of Defense and they go after him, they're going to say, bring back Hegseth. We don't want to deal with this guy. So I think momentum is slightly moving back toward Pete Hegseth under the guideline. Look, we already gave you one with Gates, tagged in Pam Bondi. We're not doing that again. We're going to fight it out on this one because If they don't fight it out on this one, then the other side will mass to fight it out on Tulsi Gabbard or RFK Jr. If they mass on this one, then worst case scenario, you have a chance on the others that they can't quite get the same mob mentality going on. Most interesting story of the day, because one of the people that has annoyed me, I know how I annoy him too, so it's an equal annoyance factor. Well, the whole family is beyond annoying. That's the Boyles. Remember Kevin Boyle?
Oh, yeah.
The guy that's out now threatening people in a bar,
rules.
woman just trying to be a bartender, earn a living, and telling him, get the hell out of here. Wasn't even in his district. I could shut this bar down. Well, the brother is reputed to be someday the Speaker of the House on the Democrat side, Brendan Boyle. What? Now, Northeast Philadelphia, a lot of problems, right? We just saw a Republican elected there. They don't like what's going on. Is this guy the congressman for life in Northeast Philadelphia, Brendan Boyle? He's leading the charge, calling on Joe Biden to issue blanket pardons of anybody who could be targeted by Trump. Can you see Joe Biden? I'm getting writer's cramp all day long. I'm issuing these pardons. They might be somebody that Trump goes after. And while we're on that, noted political consultant Larry Seisler in the Inquirer today says that the mayor of Philadelphia is smart not to say anything on sanctuary cities because of how publicly vindictive Trump is. My point would be to the Inquirer, threatening Philadelphia with losing funding if they don't give up this sanctuary city, which is illegal, which is violative of U.S. law, is not vindictive. It's accountability. But it is interesting, to her credit, that Sherelle Parker is not out there saying, yes, we're going to do anything to protect against Trump. All these people, 47,000, they say in Philadelphia. How they know that, I don't know. She doesn't seem like she's going to do too much around that, so they're starting the pressure. They're going to hold a big rally on Tuesday at City Hall to pressure her some more. How's it vindictive to say, if you don't comply with the law, federal law, we're in charge of the federal government, we're going to take away your funding? I mean, I hope Trump takes like $100 billion away from Chicago. One of the first acts in office. Let's see what they say then. Let's see how long these blue cities can hold out here if they don't get the money. Okay, you want to do your little sanctuary city, you're not going to get the money. That's what it comes down to. All right, here is a little bit of what I'm going to ask Sean Parnell about, in addition to Pete Hegseth. He was there at the shooting. And also, Dave McCormick, Senator McCormick, will ask him about the nominees. But we'll also ask him about this. And as I said, how many weeks passed? It seems to me, I'm just guessing, I think it was in July, but it might have been in June. Was it June or July, the shooting? All I know is we're in a bed and breakfast in Gettysburg, and it's a Saturday, and Dan's repeatedly calling him saying, uh-oh, what the heck could have happened? You know, where do I have to go? Can I get a helicopter to get there? Dan's calling. It's a Saturday like this. And Rose saying, oh, yeah, this must be highly important. And it was that Trump had been shot. So here is the new tag-in guy, that Secretary of the Secret Service. Just another reason why this whole outfit has to be cleaned out. In this one, he's getting into it with Pat Fallon, representative from Texas, who's a military guy. And they're going back and forth about 9/11 somehow or another.
So at a commemoration event,
right.
Pat Fallon,
right.
he was there as a dignitary rather than the head of security.
Right.
I'm sorry, not Pat Fallon.
The head of Secret Service.
Head of Secret Service
right.
was. And Pat Fallon points that out, and head of Secret Service goes ape crazy, saying, well, you can't invoke 9/11 to make a point. And sorry, Ronald Rhodes says that. And then you hear what goes on here. So
yeah, and somebody says, don't bully me. Who's that says that? I think it's Fallon.
I think it's Fallon.
Yeah, he's a representative. You know what he should have said? I asked the questions. Not you here. You're going to answer this question. One of these times, you just got to keep on asking the question. Stand up. You know what you need to tag in? The Oklahoma guy, the senator from Oklahoma. He ought to be the one doing the questioning with this Secret Service head. I'm taking off my ring. We're both adults here. Because I think the other guy would get up too. All right, here's how it sounded.
So I got another question for you. Do you recognize this photo?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Was that the remembrance of September 11th?
It was.
Was it in New York?
It was at Ground Zero.
Okay. Who is usually at an event like this closest to the President of the United States, security-wise?
The SAC of the detail.
Special agent in charge of the detail. Were you the special agent in charge of the detail that day?
Actually, let me address this. Could you please, staff, leave that? Oh, no, leave that one up with the circle around me. Thank you. So actually, Congressman, what you're not seeing is the SAC of the detail out of the picture's view. And that is the day where we remember the more than 3,000 people that have died on 9/11. I actually responded to Ground Zero. I was there going through the ashes of the World Trade Center. I was there at Fresh Kills.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you,
Congressman.
were you the special agent in charge?
To show respect
You were not.
for a Secret
that's
Service
a bunch of
member
horse hockey.
that died on 9/11.
Oh, that you're trying to be.
Do not invoke 9/11 for political purposes.
Oh, that I'm not. I'm invoking this.
You are, sir.
Gentlemen,
and you are out of line.
I would like to ask him a question.
Please.
You are out of line,
Order.
Congressman.
Don't
Way
try
out
to
of
bully
line.
me. I am an elected member of Congress, and I'm asking you a serious question, and you are
I
playing
am a public
politics.
servant who has served this nation and
You
spent
won't answer
time
the question.
on our country's darkest
Mr.
day.
Chairman,
Committee
you
will
not
come
answer-
to
Do not
order.
politicize it.
Committee will come to order.
I'm asking you serious questions for the American people, and they're very simple. They're not trick questions. Were you the special agent in charge that
No,
day?
I wasn't. I was there
Oh, no,
representing
Mr.
the
Chairman,
United
I'm
States
just
Secret
asking you yes or
Service,
no.
sir.
Mr. Fallon, your
and
time's
did not
expired.
affect protective
Fallon,
You know
operations.
why you were
time's
there?
expired.
Because you wanted to be visible, because you are auditioning for this
I was
job
there to
that
pay
you're not gonna
respect for a
get
fallen
till
member of
January
this
20th.
agency.
You endangered
You are
President
out of line,
Biden's life,
Congressman.
Vice President
You are out of
Harris's
line.
life, because you put those agents out of position.
Mr.
Did you have a
Chairman.
radio with
Mr.
you?
Fallon,
Did
your
you wear a
time
vest?
has
Did you have a
expired.
weapon?
Mr.
No.
I did, sir, and you are out of line.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. Mr.
All
Chairman.
right. So finally,
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
in my mind, this is what Congress should be more often. I think Fallon waited too long to get to the thing, and the other guy, Green, hit it better. Here's Representative Green. Then we have a mystery guest checking in, I think, on the side question and related matters, probably golf and the LPGA and the great thing they did yesterday. Here's Representative Green making the point. The bottom line on what happened in Butler is they didn't care that day. They did not go all out. They're not an all-out agency. And that's up and down the line. I'm sure they're great members of the Secret Service. We know that. But just seeing out-of-shape people up there with the president, that's all that you need to know. Here's Representative Green from Tennessee.
The thing that concerns me the most, when I reported to the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment commander to be their doctor, right? At that point in my life, I was 38 years old. I had graduated from West Point Ranger School, commanded in the 82nd Airborne Division, an infantry company. I had a master's in systems information. I had a medical degree, top of my med school class, and I wondered if I was good enough to be on that team. That's what I'm talking about. Elite culture where everybody comes to work every friggin' day saying, I will do everything I can to make sure I don't fail. And I'll tell you, going to war, I didn't give a shit if I died. What I didn't want to do was fail. But your guys showed up that day and didn't give a shit. There was apathy and complacency, period. And that's your mission now. I appreciate all the systems and the technology that everybody else has asked about. But this is a leadership issue. This is a command climate issue, a culture issue. Can you make a few comments about what you're doing to fix the command climate at the Secret Service?
Yes.
All right. That's for my money. I love the other guy, but for my money, that was even better. That's exactly it. They're not the best and the brightest. As soon as DEI and everything else that's in there, when lives are involved. By the way, Fallon's saying, and you're not going to get that job anyhow. All right, our mystery guest, Henry, can you use your mic there? Let me give the side question today. President Trump, he's in the dark there. I mean, get that voice modifier on him, Dan, as you sometimes do. The other day, President Trump joked to Trudeau Well, if $100 billion is going to knock down your economy that much, just become the 51st state. We'll let you be a governor of half of it, apparently the bad half. Canada, the second largest country in the world. Today's side question, something, a person, place, thing, trend associated with Canada. And stepping in for some unknown reason, Mike Opelka is here in studio.
Yeah, why are you even here, Mike?
Yes.
I wanted by to say hello and happy holidays. And
well,
all
thank
that
you,
stuff.
Mike. Merry Christmas
Where's
to
my
you,
roast
too.
pork
Yes.
sandwich?
Yes.
I miss you like a front tooth, you know.
Yes, exactly.
Can I start on the
Yes,
side question?
Sure.
Poutine.
Oh, okay, yes. All right.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
delicious.
It is delicious.
Henry looks angry. I think he just took Henry's
Okay. All right.
Sorry. Oh, Henry's got
Yes.
it. Sorry.
So what else are you doing today here, Mike?
I came by to visit with Gregory.
Okay.
Our friend Greg Stocker, the boss.
Are you
Okay.
And discuss our collective future.
Oh, okay.
Is this why you have all this stuff and you're walking out?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I got
Okay. So
office
you have a whole
supplies.
desk
I'm leaving
packed
with
up over
office
here.
supplies.
Okay, all
And
right.
I came up with an idea, Tom, that I think you're going to love. You and I never got to play golf this year, and we really
Right.
wanted to. And life conspired against us. I want to do an indoor golf challenge over the winter so we don't miss another season. And we're working on it. So Greg and I were.
Some top golf.
okay.
Okay.
I
Something.
did see it. I did see it on Twitter, or you sent it to a few people. I was one, and I think Nick was one. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Well, most of it was to mock Nick because once it gets below 60, he won't go out and play golf.
Yeah, he's a shorts guy. Definitely a shorts guy.
And,
Can't-
and the
yes.
sandals with the
Oh,
open
the sand.
toes.
Oh,
With
yeah,
your
that's
straight
it,
in
yes.
pants.
It's amazing the guy is able to get by doing all that stuff. I think it's a great idea.
Well,
It'll give us a chance to show off now. You don't fade the ball as much anymore, I'm told.
No, I've had some new clubs and lessons.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Everyone's in trouble, Tom. Bad habits
But
return, but
That's
everyone's
a
in trouble.
go-to shot. That 30-yard peeler across the fairways I've never seen it. Was remarkable.
I've had to readjust my aim because of the dreaded straight ball showing up. But yeah.
All right. Well, I definitely hope that we do that. It would be spectacular. What course is the course to play?
You can do it. We can do hundreds on the virtuals. I played the old course at St. Andrews
You guys play
just
Augusta.
last Sunday, and at this indoor simulator, and
Right.
never been there.
I
but-
played it.
Well, of course you
It's
have.
it's overrated.
Well, so
My
am
view,
I.
yes. And Carnoustie is even more overrated.
Really?
Tougher.
Well,
Much tougher, though.
Maybe
yes.
we'll do Teeth of the Dog in Santo Domingo, down in the Dominican Republic.
I like Augusta.
Oh,
That's the course to
You
me.
know
yeah.
what? That's perfect. A classic American course,
Exactly.
Augusta National.
Augusta National.
Where I will
Exactly.
never be allowed to have a club in my hand. So
Now,
that's a good idea.
The one that I played that I think of note is Pine Valley, and it's because of a priest that got us in. And we're going to bother him.
A Pine Valley
and
would
Pine
be good.
Valley was unbelievably tough. Oh, my God. Yes.
What about
really good.
Congressional, Dom? Have you played Congressional?
No, I have not.
I
No.
think I could get us on.
All right. I'm ready to go.
Once the weather breaks. So
Okay.
just keep my number handy. And we'll,
All right, let us
we'll
know,
work
Mike.
that
I'm
out.
ready to go. And you are, I would say this, an unbelievable playing companion. I mean, really. Egging on all the good stuff, forgetting all the bad. Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
you have to. We have
Exactly.
to accentuate the positive.
Some
Exactly.
positivity over here.
Plenty of negative out there. I'm trying to be a helper like Mr. Rogers.
All right, well, let us know when that happens. I'm in, and I'm sure Dan is so athletic he could pick up a golf club and shoot.
I'll be the
break
caddy.
100.
How about that?
All right, there's a go.
Carry
Yeah,
your
yeah,
clubs for you.
yeah.
down.
Like my wife. Can I drive the little car?
That's all I want to do.
Henry is a golfer, though.
Really?
Of sorts, yes.
Barely.
Barely,
Putt
yes.
putt golf, I suspect.
Okay. No, he's not. No.
There you go.
There
Whoa.
you go. Okay.
Whoa.
Whoa,
But I
hey,
did-
All right, there we
Bring it
go.
in,
All right,
bring it in.
Mike.
We
We'll have a
did
good.
finally get the hole in one, Tom.
All righty. Thank you for popping in. Good to have a good time with Greg. 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. Something with Canada, as Mike said. All right, I'm going to take off the obvious. I'll be Mr. Obvious today. I'll take off ice hockey, cold.
Yep.
Let's see. I'll take off Elon Musk.
What?
Yes.
Oh.
Elon Musk was born in South Africa, but became a citizen at the age of around 18, I believe, of Canada. There you go. All right, something you learned today. I hope that information is correct. I've seen it several places. Henry, what's yours?
Yeah, so as a big Jeopardy fan, I think you know where I'm going right here.
Right.
I will take Alex Trebek off the board
Yes,
today,
yes.
all-time host.
Yep.
And then another one a little outside the box. I'm going to take off.
What did I tell you guys at the beginning? No booing or hissing.
I'm going to take off maple taffy. You ever heard of this?
Whoa.
No.
So, it snows a lot in Canada. It's really cold.
Right.
A lot of Canadians will put a popsicle stick in the snow, like lay it down flat,
Right.
and pour maple syrup on the snow. And as it freezes, they'll twirl the popsicle stick until it's all on the stick, and then they just eat it like a little taffy. This looks pretty good. I want to try it sometime.
The biggest thing is I associate, before we go to Dan, the Canadians as rough and tumble, yet they are squishy, progressive as far as how they govern and the craziness of it. I think that's the French Canadians mainly. I can't imagine the Flyers or anybody like that doing it, but that's the country.
Yeah.
Yours, Dan.
How about a long-running TV series that made its way to America and got a cult following, Degrassi? And Degrassi, the Next Generation. Yeah, you were a fan of that?
I watched some on Teen Nick as a kid when I shouldn't have. Yeah.
Okay, which produced rapper Drake, who comes from Toronto, Canada. So another Canada there. But how about I think the Canadian accent is the kindest.
Horrible.
No, I think it's the kindest sounding accent of any
my
accent.
goodness.
Maybe North Dakota. North Dakota.
Sounds dumb to me, but okay, you say kind.
You think? Yeah, I think it sounds. Well, the amount that they say sorry,
You're a hoser.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. Okay. That's an interesting take to say that. All right, coming up, we'll get your calls on that. We have Sean Parnell coming up at 12:30, and a brilliant column today about Wicked. It has a hidden pro-Trump message. Now, a lot of people are saying it's anti-Trump. I'll give you the take of a brilliant column today. It's, no. Wicked is really pro-Trump. Trump is the Wizard of Oz. All right, 855-839-1210. Get in with Dom and Dan here on Talk Radio 1210.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-408-4040. That's 800-408-4040.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-408-4040. That's 800-408-4040.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. Guarding online privacy is critical for me, personally and professionally. That's why I subscribe to Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo. I feel secure with Privacy Pro's 3-in-1 subscription service, DuckDuckGo VPN, personal information removal, and identity theft restoration. So we're able right now to offer you a free 30-day trial at DuckDuckGo.com/1210. DuckDuckGo Privacy Pro provides me with a VPN, secure encrypted Wi-Fi connection that I trust. It hides my IP address and location from the sites I visit, which is critical because I spend a lot of time on the road multitasking, online, doing show prep, researching the latest news. I love that the DuckDuckGo VPN works on browsers and apps across mobile and desktop. Get a 30-day free trial, duckduckgo.com/1210, then pay $9.99 a month. Do this, duckduckgo.com/1210. Tell them Dawn sent you.
It's Joe Conklin with the City Rhythm Orchestra at Westchester University and Pittman, New Jersey in February.
It was fabulous. It was the most joyful night I have experienced in a long time.
The Frank Sinatra guy, I really liked him.
His imitation of the Bee Gees.
That's Conklin with City Rhythm and the story of Philly sports through music. Westchester University on February 21st and the Broadway Theater in Pittman, New Jersey on February 22nd. Tickets to a Conklin show make great holiday gifts. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. joeconklin.com.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
All right, Dom Giordano Show. Welcome in. All right, hit us with something Canadian. Man, woman, child, trend, anything. That's what we're looking for. Also, when you call in today, we're in the throes now of the Caller of the Year. This was even more heated, debated last year, down to the wire. We want to hear from you. Who is it you look forward to hearing? They call in a lot, many times on the side question, but related things. There's like a dozen or so in contention. The Earl of Tacony is the Caller of the Year from last year, 2024. And Dan, do you have ready for air? I'm not sure yet. He, on a moment's notice, I said, you got to include in your Christmas album.
Oh, no, it's not going to be ready for a couple weeks.
Okay. That's to Scott Presler. He's working up a song for Scott Presler. Presler's so hot, Dan. I've been approached by, I can't tell you the number of people that are donors or elected officials that want to meet with him and have me, part of this whole thing. So I'm working on it. That's how prominent it is. They're thrilled that he's coming to Jersey. And they can't believe he already has a guy on the Wildwood Boardwalk, his headquarters, that are, going to allow voter registration and all that. Mulligan's is going to need a bigger marquee to put on there. Scott Presler here today. The only regret, a woman on Twitter says, yeah, that other guy has nice hair, but yours is better. Why tweet something like that? Why go into that? Come on.
Trying to trigger you there, Dom.
Yeah, I know. It's just we have to have some hair. So think about that for the summer at Mulligan's. There's got to be some hair-related segment there that we engage in. All right, here is a little bit from yesterday, though. We didn't get a chance to play it all because it was going on while we were on the air. I told you about this. Here's Ketanji Brown yesterday. Look, what's going to happen here? Gorsuch, for some reason, is going to vote with the three progressives. It's going to be a 5-4 on this. They're going to allow Tennessee to say, hey, we're not allowing you to have kids that are 8, 10 years of age, do things that are irreversible. It's not a health issue. They're not unhealthy. It's a psychological issue, or you're making it a psychological issue. Stop calling it a health choice. And trying to make the argument, well, what about parental rights that conservatives always talk about? We're not saying that parental rights is, hey, kid, Johnny, I'm not feeling so good. I drank too much. You're 10. Drive the car home. It's my parental right. We're not saying that. All right, so here is Ketanji Brown telling us how this whole debate is really like the prohibition in the past against interracial marriage.
Being drawn by the statute. That was sort of like the starting point. The question was whether it was discriminatory because it applied to both races and it wasn't, necessarily invidious or whatever. But, as I read the statute here, the case here, the court starts off by saying that Virginia is now one of 16 states which prohibit and punish marriages on the basis of racial classifications. And when you look at the structure of that law, it looks in terms of, you can't do something that is inconsistent with your own characteristics. It's sort of the same thing. So it's interesting to me that we now have this different argument, and I wonder whether Virginia could have gotten away with what they did here by just making a classification argument the way that Tennessee is in this case.
Yes, I think that's exactly right, that there is absolutely a parallel between any law that says you can't act inconsistent with a protected characteristic and in all other contexts.
It's not saying that, you morons. I don't care if she is on the Supreme Court. Somebody jump in. It's saying you're 10 years of age. This is irreversible. They're trying to make it on some lofty principle, tying it to racism, white supremacy, out of craziness of allowing children to make decisions, along with their parents who are often bullied into this, that will be irreversible because it's the rage of the day. All right, here is a little bit of Justice Alito with the ACLU restoring order here. I think this is cut 5, making the point that transitioning kids doesn't prevent suicides.
True in every respect, but on page 195 of Cass report it says there is no evidence that gender affirmative treatments reduce suicide.
What I think that is referring to is there is no evidence in the studies that this treatment reduces completed suicide. And the reason for that is completed suicide, thankfully and admittedly, is rare, and we're talking about a very small population of individuals with studies that don't necessarily have completed suicides within them. However, there are multiple studies, long-term longitudinal studies that do show that there is a reduction in suicidality, which I think is a positive outcome to this treatment.
All right, so this is the thing that parents are hit with, why they go along with it, plus for peace. Suddenly, one school district I remember, because they're one of the school districts that apparently won't tell the parents if the kid starts wanting to use another pronoun and all that stuff. Great Valley School District. Suddenly, we're supposed to believe all these kids were here all along, and these numbers are just something we ignored before? Not true. Bill Maher makes the point. He says, when I go out to dinner in the Midwest, I'm doing a show, I'm out to dinner with some people, this never comes up, my kid is trans. I go to dinner in Beverly Hills, half the table has a kid that's trans. Why is that? We know why it is. It's a contagion. It's a trend that's operating here. All right, we'll continue to see what the Supreme Court's going to allow Tennessee to do this. Coming up, we're going to talk with Captain Sean Parnell, who was there when President Trump was shot, what he thinks of this Secret Service stuff we've been playing. But more importantly, his defense of Pete Hegseth got the New Yorker now to attack Sean Parnell. That's the way this works. He was there with him. You'll hear his testimony, if you will, coming up. Hey, tackle the NFL action on FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now, new customers, you can get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything that you need to place live bets on the NFL, and it's all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. All you have to do is visit FanDuel.com/Dom to join today. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win that first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com/Dom, D-O-M. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. You have to be 21 plus and present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
At California Psychics, we know you have your doubts about, well, psychics. After all, there's a lot of hocus pocus out there. From people who don't know their astrology from their elbow.
Your horoscope says you'll get the promotion. Oh dear, but you gotta watch out for flying pigs.
To tarot tricksters playing you for the fool. And fortune tellers who charge a fortune. That's why California Psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So you can get advice without developing a flying pig phobia. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Window Nation presents the 1210 WPHT Veteran Spotlight in partnership with the Travis Manion Foundation. Listen the first Wednesday of every month as Kale and Company shines a spotlight on a local veteran, highlighting their remarkable commitment to the community and their exceptional service in the military. Presented by Window Nation. At Window Nation, there's nothing more important than giving back to the communities we serve. For all of your window and door needs, visit windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
The good and bad with home improvement projects. The good, you save a buck or two. The bad.
Kevin, there's no hot water.
So you move on to the car.
Kevin, what's with the car?
Good news, you can recover from these.
Kevin!
Well, most all of them. But when it comes to your retirement, a mistake can be devastating.
Call Joe Yakovich at JML Financial Group. He's been helping folks prepare for retirement for over 30 years. That's why he's able to correct your do-it-yourself problems before they're problems.
Get your complimentary assessment of where you are now and look at some of the retirement boxes you haven't even thought of.
Kevin!
You can't YouTube your retirement. Call Joe Yakovich at 856-925-6674 or visit jmlfinancialgroup.com. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Brokers International Financial Services, LLC, member SIPC. Brokers International Financial Services, LLC is not an affiliated company.
Are you looking to remodel your home?
Emmons Remodeling offers complete remodeling services to turn your house into your dream home.
With quality craftsmanship and attention to every detail, Emmons designers and construction experts can handle all of your remodeling needs from kitchens to baths to basements and additions.
Call Emmons today at 856-885-6677 or visit callemmons.com.
From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
Power up the holiday and give a gift from the top of their wish list. Visit your local Steel dealer today or shop online at steelusa.com.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Dom Giordano Show. Welcome in. Sean Parnell, of course, we've honored as one of our Mount Rushmore for his work in carrying Pennsylvania, President Trump. You remember that, the head of the mail-in ballot. And he is fiercely loyal, and he has spoken out on the show before, but recently this villainous, anonymous source, New Yorker hit piece on Pete Hegseth, with a lot of anonymous sources up and down the line, the worst things in the world. And Parnell said, well, I was there. I would have seen that. And what's the response? Go after Sean Parnell. He joins us here on Talk Radio 1210. Captain Sean Parnell, welcome back, Sean. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Dom. Thanks for having me.
Well, before we talk about Pete, another troubled organization, similar branch, Secret Service military, Sean, quite a shootout today, literally almost, on the floor of the House, in which the acting director and a couple of congressmen who were in the military really went after him. Isn't it remarkable? You were there. It seems like this was 100 years ago, the pace of Congress to get to something this important, and the trigger should have been, no pun intended, the second attempt. If that doesn't make you instantly try to get to the bottom of this, now we're running out the clock on the year.
And honestly, Dom, and I truly believe the vast majority of people think this now. This is how you know they're trying to hide something. I'm serious. I'm not trying to be conspiratorial here, but there was a lot that we knew the day of the assassination attempt just based on the available facts, right? Mm-hmm. And we still don't know anything other than that. It's just the truth. That is a travesty because, again, as you and I have talked about before, this doesn't just affect Republican presidents. It affects any government official who is protected by the United States Secret Service, Democrat or Republican. And so you'd think, members of Congress would want to get to the bottom of this. And you'd think that transparency, and I think that's why many members of the House of Representatives are freaking out about this, because you think transparency would be a core tenet of this investigation, because we deserve the truth.
Yeah, well, Sean, a long way to it. It just occurred to me, knowing you were going to be on today, we'll get to Pete in a second. Dan Bongino might be put in, but if not, I would definitely consider a Captain Sean Parnell for this reason. I don't think you need to know all. In fact, I think it gets in your way, all this Secret Service thought process and way of doing things. We need somebody in there who is not going to fail, who's driven. The years that you would be doing this, it would be hard on the family and everybody else because you have one mission. I'm not going to fail. That's the most important thing. And every person that comes to work, I want them to have that. If they don't, I don't want them here.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for that compliment. I mean, serving, in any presidential administration, but especially Trump's, I think would be an unbelievable honor. But, that's exactly right. When you talk about a zero fail mission, I mean, you've got to be right 100% of the time in that job. The enemy only has to be right once. And so it's an enormous responsibility that requires, a ton of flexibility. And there is a certain way that government bureaucrats approach things. They've been in the bureaucratic system for a real long time, and sometimes they only see the bureaucracy, right?
Exactly.
And as bureaucracies grow, I think they get less transparent and less accepting of reform. And, you talk about Pete Hegseth. I mean, I think this is precisely why,
yes.
He's a reformer. He wants to change things. And so he's meeting all sorts of really horrific and false resistance.
And you were there. That's the point. So the New Yorker, then Jane Mayer, who is their designated, I've been covering this one for like 20 years of this stuff. She then goes after you, and you made the point, particularly on the financial and misrun and all that. You were there. He had a lot of offers. He was a contributor at Fox. He was talking about being the weekend host, and I didn't know this. You said, I saw today, that ABC was even talking to Pete Hegseth.
Yeah. I mean, look, I have been through what Pete's been through. It's horrible, especially when the attacks are false, as they were with me, as they are with Pete. And I read that New Yorker article, Dom, and I thought, oh, my gosh, this is the hit piece of all hit pieces. Obviously, I was there. I worked directly with Pete. I was a senior advisor at the organization with him. I was there at CVA during the exact time that all of those alleged events took place. And by the way, there's no whistleblower report. I mean, this is another falsehood by the media. There's no official whistleblower report. It's a couple of poorly written emails in a Word document. That's not a whistleblower report.
Exactly.
And so I saw this. I'm like, first of all, I was at Louisiana at all of those events. There was no strip clubs involved. I can assure you I would remember that. That's complete and total.
Wait a minute, Jane Mayer, Parnell says at Giordano, strip clubs. We would remember it.
I'm just being honest with you. It didn't happen. It was a complete and total fabrication.
God.
And the idea that Pete left the organization because of some rift with the founders over financial mismanagement or drinking is, again, a complete and total lie. It was just strictly policy differences. Pete started to come on board with, President Trump's, then President-elect Trump in 2015, 2016, in his first term, started to come on board with his views on foreign policy and national security. And the funders of the organization at that time, did not share those views. And so Pete left, and that was it. It had nothing to do with drinking or financial mismanagement. So the whole thing, Dom, was completely false. And then the response to me coming out and just saying, hey, all of this stuff these are lies, was them to come after me and smear me.
And here your wife, your wife Melanie quoted at Breitbart today, has to come out and go after this. It drags up this. You have kids. The whole thing again. They'll be old enough. I'm not sure if they are now. They'll hear something.
Oh,
everybody
they
has
are,
to go.
yeah.
Everybody has to go through that, all because they're determined to stop Hegseth in this case. And look, listeners know this, Sean. I don't want to bring you into this. I didn't think Matt Gaetz was an appropriate choice, particularly when I have Bondi on the bench. But Pete is an out-of-the-box choice with the goal of shaking up the bureaucracy here, the politically correct part, and hopefully inspiring more recruits.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I know Pete very, very well. He's very intelligent. He's reform-minded. He understands the Department of Defense. He understands what it means to be in combat. This is a guy that served in Iraq, Afghanistan, and then, strangely enough, Guantanamo Bay, where he protected the very prisoners who were trying to kill him on the battlefield. He's been a part of these wars that all of the quote-unquote experienced people got us tangled up in, and now they're doing the same thing in Ukraine. So I'm fine with a different way of thinking. Right. I'm fine with an outsider coming in and shaking things up and then hopefully getting this recruiting crisis under control. And I'm telling you, Pete Hegseth, he's definitely the guy for the job. And by the way, Dom, I firmly believe that this is a line in the sand issue. If they succeed in taking out Pete, then they're going to go to RFK. Then they're going to go to Kash Patel. And it's not going to stop with him. And so I think we, the people, have to draw a line in the sand here.
Exactly. Sean, parting area, and it just occurred to me, always talking to you makes the mind more fertile. If Pete were a guy, a war hawk, here's the thing, and they're very afraid. We don't want a guy unnecessarily getting us involved in all these actions, but he's exactly the opposite, just like Trump is. So there ought to be less resistance. Look, if somebody has a reputation, and like the Cheneys, and they're just looking, Liz Cheney, to get involved in all these actions, there are a few Republicans like that. I get the skepticism. I get a lot of pushback, but there's none of that with him. This is a new day trying to keep America out of unnecessary actions because of the cost in lives and treasure.
Yeah, and it's not the military who messes up these wars. It's the politicians.
Right.
I mean, you look, 20 years in Afghanistan. I served 485 days there. 85% of my platoon was wounded, some twice, some 3 times. I was wounded as well. You saw what happened in Afghanistan because of politicians in Washington. 20 years of blood, treasure, sacrifice lost. Did the same thing in Iraq. Thousands of Americans dead, tens of thousands of Americans wounded, hundreds of thousands of Americans suffering from the invisible wounds of war, over 1 million Iraqis dead. All we did there was leave, create a void. ISIS filled it, and then rampaged across the Middle East, leaving a trail of bodies in their wake. We're doing the same thing in Ukraine. What do we have to show for those wars, Tom? And so this is why I'm okay with someone who's actually fought in these wars, who knows what it means to dodge IEDs or kick down doors or feel a bullet crack by their head or pray over the loss of one of your fallen warriors who you fought beside. I'm okay with that, and I think it's high time that we have somebody like that in charge of this nation's war fighters, because sending America's sons and daughters into war, they are our most precious natural resource in this country. Sending them into the fight, I'm not saying that war isn't justified. I mean, look, if this country were ever threatened, I'd be the first in line to defend it. Sometimes wars can be righteous, but it should be a last option for our policymakers, not a first option. And I know that Pete believes the same darn thing because he's lived it.
Absolutely, as you have. Thank you, Sean. For listeners, you're still engaged with Republican efforts in Pennsylvania, right?
Oh, yeah. Very, very big news coming very, very soon on that. So stay tuned for some very cool stuff we're going to be announcing. But yes.
Well, tell Dan first here. Let's hear it first.
We will.
Okay. Thank you. If we don't speak before that news, have a great Christmas.
Okay, you too, Don.
Thank you,
care.
Sean. I had to get, we're just moseying along a conversation, Dan, and somebody says, well, I have exciting news. Tell it. Just say it now. Why wait? Excitement. Tell us. We'll be excited. Come on. You got to do that every day. That's the only way you ever get any of this here. All right. Hit us with something Canadian. You heard Sean Parnell on this. That this is where it's gone with Pete Hegseth. It just occurred to me, if this were some warmonger and all, and they were thinking, oh, man, look at what we're getting into. These are people that want to help peace through strength. Stay out of that. That's the bottom line. We'll talk to Dave McCormick, who also was at Butler when Trump was shot. about all this in his first few weeks as a senator. Or is Bob Casey still counting votes? Phone lines are 855-839-1210.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
The FAA is now, I believe, going to allow Amazon to drone drop your packages over your house.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I saw a video of it. Little drone is over some little fenced yard dropping off a package.
And I'm a giant hypocrite because I'm sure I'll use it.
I can't wait for the first lawsuit where the drone drops something and it hits somebody in the head.
Yeah.
And then they sue.
You could get a drone to deliver groceries.
And then gangs will shoot it out of the air.
The drones will come strapped.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
There's a reason that potato chips don't come in a clear bag.
There's only 8 chips in this bag.
That's why. It's only about 2/3 full. The rest is air. It's a lot like opening up your 401k at retirement. You get about 2/3 of it, and the rest goes to Uncle Sam. Jim Cipriotti at the Retire Ready Financial Group can help. His tax mapping process can help forecast what your tax bill will be in the future. And that way, you can build a strategy now to potentially decrease your tax bill in retirement. In other words, more for you and less for Uncle Sam. Call today for your complimentary retirement tax mapping report, 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415. Or find them online at retirereadyfg.com. And get Uncle Sam's greedy hands out of your retirement.
Hey, you've had enough.
With a complimentary tax mapping report from Jim Cipriotti. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
Do you have a property that you no longer want? Maybe you inherited the property. Maybe you're underwater in the property. Or maybe you're just a tired landlord, tired of dealing with tenants. Listen, I can buy those properties, and I'll buy those properties fast. I can close in 2 weeks. I buy properties cash. My name is Larry Steinhaus. Give me a call at 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137, and I will personally answer the call. You can also visit easyOutRealEstate.com. Hey, this is Larry Steinhaus from Investor Schooling. Did you know I have a radio show every Saturday from 1 to 3? It's called The Larry Steinhaus Show, and it's sponsored by Investor Schooling. On this show, you will learn things about finances and things about money that you never knew before. But even more of a reason to listen to this show is how much fun we have. If you haven't heard the banter between me, Omri, and Dr. Deb, you haven't heard the greatest show on earth. Listen to this show this Saturday at 1 o'clock right here on WPHT, and I promise you will learn something.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-408-4040. That's 800-408-4040.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
For the pulse of the city, even if it ain't pretty.
The Dom Giordano program.
On Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
All right, Dom Giordano Show. Still waiting the jury verdict, and I'll tell you what I think's happening in New York with Daniel Penny. First of all, Mayor Adams has come out belatedly. You know, he's in a lot of trouble. But supporting Penny in this. Here we go again. They're obviously, in my view, not going to charge him with the major crime, you know, the top of the line. There's always this sense, though, they want to be on record. They're going to get this guy, and they can't get enough people that certainly would go for the big crime, alleged big crime here. So they're looking to come out of this and going back and forth over some smaller crime involved with this, okay? Now, as a matter of law, just because this guy had been in big trouble before, just because he's out of control, just because he was a menace, and just because people in New York are tired of menaces, that you face, it doesn't mean there's not some restraints on what Penny can do to him here. But based upon all the testimony, based upon what we've seen, the totality of it, how in the world, even with Monday morning quarterbacking, can you find anything here that is criminal? More than anything, what should happen here as soon as this is over is this guy ought to be lauded. And we ought to be calling upon more people to protect people rather than having to say, well, you have to come pretty close to them killing you before you can take effective action here in dealing with this. I'm thinking about it, too, because I'm thinking about what's going on in Philadelphia today. It's the preliminary vote. They're going to take several votes on this, on the big arena thing with the Sixers. Under the guise, one of the tent poles of this is that people are actually from Radnor and Abington and Timbuktu going to use SEPTA to go to Sixers games in downtown Philadelphia and be getting out of there around 10 o'clock at night-ish type of stuff. But they're going to vote for it no matter what. This has been a done deal. They want something. Sixers, with all these billionaires, are willing to give them some of that, some cover. And I think that's what's going to happen. And SEPTA, by the time this all gets done, is going to be so much better. Based on what? What is it they're going to do at SEPTA? Remember, we had one, the head of the police, and he was nice enough. Nestor used to come on saying, well, we have all these cameras, but we many times don't have people watching them. Oh, really? Remember the incident in Upper Darby? And then they said that didn't happen? Similar to the Penny case here. So that's why I think the Penny jury, and they may even go, certainly by tomorrow. They're not going to go into the weekend with this stuff. But they might go late today, certainly early tomorrow, get out of Dodge. And I think some people on that jury are seeing this based on race and potentially saying, well, let's give him this. Let's send a message here. The message is you have an Alvin Bragg who might be the worst of all the progressive attorneys that have been put in there, who routinely allows people to go, but charges Daniel Penny and Donald Trump. So it's not even consistency that there is no law. It's that there are two sets of laws. For real criminals, no law. For people that we want to get because of some ideology or political background, in this case of Trump, that's what we're going to do. All right, let's get one on the board on the side question. Let's go to Joe the trucker. He's in Indiana on Talk Radio 1210.
Whoa,
hey,
Indiana.
Joe, welcome in.
Hey, Don. Nice to talk to you.
Same here.
Yeah, I was in my former life. I'll preface this. I was a motor coach driver. We did a lot of runs to Canada for hockey, to Quebec, and we'd spend 6-7 days up there. And you'd go into a bar or whatever, in the free time off. And I'm sitting there one night and I'm watching this guy. He gets a Labatt's Blue, puts it up on the counter in a bottle, and he grabs a little can of Clamato tomato juice with clam juice in it. And they mix it together. They mix it together, and that is their favorite drink of the working man in Quebec.
God. Yeah. And what's it based on?
They smoke.
Yeah. Go ahead.
They smoke, they drink, and they watch hockey.
Oh, my God, Joe, that's a very good one. That's a first-hand call. Thank you, Joe. Be safe out there. It's going to be hard. That's a good call. That's actual field work, seeing this happen. Oh, my God. And yet they're progressive. The policies are more progressive than ours by far, and they have something like in the Trudeaus, I guess. All right, 855-839-1210. You can name a person who's Canadian or a thing or a trend, just as Joe did there. We'd love to get you on board. We'll talk with Dave McCormick at 2 o'clock today. His experience being shot, when Trump was shot, he was in Butler. He was up on the stage. And also the first couple weeks or so of being a senator, and then these picks coming up, all these nominees. I haven't seen the betting odds. How many is Trump going to get through out of the top 20 that actually need confirmation or so? I would set the over and under at about 18. Maybe 17. One or two are going to be rejected somehow or another. Will it be a key one? All right, we'll talk about it next at 855-839-1210. Let me tell you about batteries plus bulbs in Mount Laurel and Northfield. Talk with my buddy Roy, who founded the first batteries plus bulbs, the one on Route 73 in Mount Laurel years ago. So it's kind of like a superstore there. And we were talking about the latest stuff, and he said, hey, this holiday season, remind listeners, a lot of people bring in decorations, things associated with the holidays. They don't work anymore, sentimental values, some of them pretty big. It's amazing what he and his staff have done over the years. But in addition to that, they've just been through 5 months of hard training, both stores, to have their people certified as Apple people, Apple technicians, meaning they have access to anything you would get, as I understand it, if you go to the Apple store. Now, think about that. You know how good these people are. You know how many listeners have gone to them. And you don't have that wait. You don't have that lines like Disney. Hi, how are you? Yeah, I'm trying to get this done. They move you down the line. Good, we're writing your name over here. I was just there with Roe the other day. You don't get that with Roy. They're going to get this fixed, and they're certified now. You're getting everything that you would get. That's a big deal. So whatever the issue is right now, whatever you're looking for, by the way, for the holidays, great shopping, get all kinds of things there too. Give them a call. They power it, they light it, and they fix it. Give them a call at 856-638-0778. Tell them what the issue is or stop in. Mount Laurel and Northfield. 856-638-0778.
Don't go through another winter spending your hard-earned money on high heating costs or wrapped in the blankets on a couch as cold air comes rushing through your old drafty windows and doors. Upgrade your home with professionally installed energy-efficient windows and doors from my good friends at Guida Door & Window. Guida is celebrating the holidays with their big end-of-year sales event. Get 40% off each window you buy. Yep, 40% off every professionally installed window. You'll also receive 40% off any door, including entry doors, patio doors, garage doors, and storm doors. And don't worry about touching your holiday money because Guida will start your project with no money down and allow you to pay it off interest-free for up to 12 months. If you need new windows and doors, then you need to go Guida right now so you can take advantage of these huge savings. All prior sales excluded. Offer expires December 31st. So call Guida today to schedule a free in-home estimate at 877-GO-GUIDA or visit them at GoGuida.com. That's go, GUIDA.com.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
Cancer, a scary word, but not so scary if you have the right team. Hi, this is John DeMasi, host of Health Watch, Sundays at 8 and again at 4 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. And that team is Dr. Molly Fantasia and the medical staff at Innovative Medical Associates. Yes, cancer is a scary word and a difficult condition if you've been diagnosed. Over the years, the staff at Innovative Medical Associates has helped hundreds of patients with their unique medical hydration protocols. Cancer support is a large part of the practice at Innovative Medical Associates.
We believe in medical hydration. We've improved it so much that we are able to help people across the board with challenges before they become chronic.
Talk about improving your quality of life. Most likely, that'll happen when you visit Innovative Medical Associates. Check them out on the web at innovativemedicalassociates.com or call 856-489-0505 to schedule your initial complimentary consultation.
Listen, here's the secret to your holiday savings. Ready? You can get gifts starting at just $3.99. Toys from Disney, Mattel, Barbie, Sonic, Looney Tunes, Fisher-Price, Play-Doh, Nerf, Hot Wheels, and more. You can put a bow on these brands and won't break the bank. Adidas, Champion, Puma, Reebok, Converse, True Religion, DKNY, and Levi's are all at prices so low, they're basically a gift. The savings are hiding at You can can put a bow on these brands and won't break the bank.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. Coming up, Philly Reddit. Where should you go, they tell women, to meet guys in Philadelphia? I'll tell you what that is. It's kind of a mistaken, but DJ said it. I'll tell you about that. Wanted to talk about the shooting of the big healthcare executive. Going to play you a progressive on Twitter. And Taylor Lorenz is a progressive who's always been big time at the places like the Washington Post. She at least suggests, if not outright saying it, there's a lot of people happy that somebody shot this guy. That's what it's the level that it's reached here. You know, and I just want to say, when RFK Jr. gets started on stuff like pharmaceuticals and drug companies, we know some of the things, particularly around COVID, but any number of things that are life-enhancing or life-saving have also come through the American system. Now, apparently, Lorenz posted this, that some of the healthcare companies, and if this is true, and these are hard to run down, are saying they're not going to pay for your sedation all the way through the operation. Whoa, wait a minute there. That can't possibly be true. That's the thing that's out there today. We'll pay for 3/4 of the time. The insurance company will cover it through being sedated. And what? They stop the sedation? That seems to be the argument. And I know the abuses. We all know the abuses. We all know this. And reining these people in under law is certainly the way to go. But listen to this guy on TikTok, I believe it was, talking about the shooting. This is cut 16 of the healthcare CEO.
So the CEO of the multi-billion-dollar United Healthcare Insurance Company was shot and killed this morning in New York City. And I will say that it is pretty tragic that the shooter was only able to get one of them. But it's a good start. I mean, it's a good foundation. Good. We can only move up from here. And before any of you come at me with, "Oh my God, I can't believe you'd say that," go f*** yourself. Seriously, go f*** yourselves. How many husbands do you think have had to bury their wives because their wives' cancer treatment was denied? How many parents do you think have had to bury their children because whatever healthcare treatment the child needed was denied, or they had to jump through hoop after hoop after hoop after hoop until finally the treatment, the sickness had progressed so far, the treatment just wasn't an option anymore. So yeah, I would say that this is probably a good start.
Okay, so you see what the particular is here, and we all know this. It's like the cable company, maybe even worse because the stakes are higher. And this company had, reputation right up there. But this idea that a maniac like this, see, this guy gets me because of the boldness of this. And Dan and I were talking about it, if you missed it yesterday, and Dan, you sent me an update on it. And look, I get this. I think it's the mom, allegedly, of Eagles backup cornerback Keely Ringo, let her dog loose routinely, apparently, when she walked into a Target. She was in the bathroom. The dog got away and went out the door and was kidnapped, stolen by this group of four here. Dan, something was off there?
No, I'm shaking my head because it's horrible. I mean,
exactly.
It's the whole situation all around.
So I'm mentioning that because just the sheer, craziness of the things, those people I'd be hunting down now. I mean, it rises to that level. Certainly this guy being killed, you got to go all out. We just can't have, look, if somebody gets you in a dark alley in some far away, it's pretty hard to police everything. This is right near Radio City Music Hall, the modern art and the whole thing. Right there. This guy just boldly does it and escapes on an e-bike from the city of New York. And apparently it's believed he used a World War II weapon that you manually have to trigger each shot because it's pretty silent. So this was thought out. It was professional, maybe. He did put on the bullets something that make us believe that this was done because of some healthcare gripe that defend, delay, and all that stuff, which I think is probably to throw people off a little bit. But usually the NYPD is pretty good at getting these, and they don't say, let's do it after breakfast. It's all out. Go all out. Didn't wear sunglasses, didn't wear anything to protect his eyes. They're going to find him. They're going to get him. But what do we make of this stuff? Is it just that Twitter and things of that nature, this is what you're going to... Tara Lorenz was a mainstream media star of sorts, is all over out there saying, well, what do you expect? What do you expect people to do when we have people that are making an awful lot of money? And so why is the broader question, where's the reform that RFK Jr., when he's coming in, this would be an area, health insurance, well, sort of in his area. Where's the reform that's needed? In other words, what's lacking? Is it a law? Is it something you just can't channel in about what they cover and when they should cover it? Or is it just a health industry? Or is it just the astronomical price on everything? I go back to, it's like colleges. Who is it that is charging these prices that people can't afford? Is it the health care? Is it the insurance people? Are the insurance people, too, facing hospitals and others that are out of control? The $500 for an aspirin put into the bill, that kind of stuff. Isn't that where, and what reform are you going to put in there? What is it that can be done to stop this? Now, this will come up one way or another during the Trump year. Trump has been very good the first time around talking about we even should buy drugs like they do in Canada through the government to cut costs on this and to stop the nonsense that goes on. The pharma people indicate, and they're right somewhat on this, well, we're throwing billions of dollars a year out there trying to find a safe cure. We get sued all the time. And when we hit it, when something gets people that they really want, we're making our money up by doing that. That's somewhat true. All right, so 855-839-1210, AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all you need to do is just push pound 1210. But allowing something like this to go on right in the heart of New York without an all-out response, dragging this guy out of whatever hole he's in, just emboldens people around this. And Twitter's emboldened to say, yeah, well, it's a good start. We need to get more of these guys. What else can we do to them? I've seen the movie John Q, and Denzel Washington is always great. But, is that where we are, John Q? So we're going to assassinate healthcare executives until they put in what reform? What is it exactly that they need to do? 855-839-1210. You get in. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all you need to do is just push pound 1210, and you're on board. That, and we played you a lot of sound in the first hour today, riveting stuff. Representative Fallon from Texas and Representative Green from Tennessee, both gone after the acting head of the Secret Service. And look, in the case of Trump and his family and everything else, you're putting somebody in there who's directly responsible to protect your life. That's just not good enough. You saw it during that shooting. We all commented on it. I'm sure there's some women out there that can be in this role, but by and large, like when you're carrying a president off, Trump's size, Trump's height. He's close to 6'3". You need people that are that height or close to that height or taller and bigger to form a human shield around. That's just one obvious thing here. And I'm not going to be in the conspiracy camp. You heard Sean Parnell with me. I'm in the camp that says they're screw-ups. They're not the best and the brightest. DEI, people out of shape, etc. And I would argue, maybe this is conspiratorial, they weren't going to go all out for Trump. There is some animus there among some of them in some way, shape, or form. Even though once shot, they did move to protect him. But this ought to be, it's only a small unit protecting presidents, right? It's not thousands and thousands of people. You ought to be able to find 50 people that are handpicked that just live this job and would do anything to protect the life of the president of the United States. Why is that so hard to do? Because it's a sign of the times. They're able to get away with it because of all kinds of policies that are there. All right, so we'll see what their recommendations are, what their report says on this. It was pretty bad today, though. All right, side question today. Something Canadian. I'm going to take off maple syrup. Several people on Twitter say, come on, do I have to call in?
Yep.
Yeah, maple syrup. We said several big ones in the beginning. Hit us with something Canadian. Awaiting the verdict. Apparently, there's a sense maybe that we're getting closer to this, at least Fox seeming to report that in the Daniel Penny chokehold trial. I could be wrong, but I'm very doubtful. What's going on is they're looking to nail him with something. And the bulk of the jury is not going along with nailing him with the highest charges. So whatever the smaller charges are, what I want, you probably want, is a ringing endorsement here saying, no, we're not going to put up with maniacs like this anymore in a system that protects maniacs like this. When someone's coming at you in the subway, have one thought in mind. Not, oh, my God, I wonder, mental illness. Why in the world is this guy like he is? Your thought is, why do I have to endure this? Why do I have to face this type of issue? I shouldn't. And somebody that's willing to prevent him from acting on this should be lionized, should be supported. Oh, we don't want people taking the law into their own hands. Well, then who else is going to protect them? Who's going to do that, really, in many instances? Nobody. As good as the NYPD are overall, and as many thousands of them as there are, they couldn't do it in this issue. They arrested this guy, 100 times, one thing after another. And in New York, he gets out, mental health, yada, 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 drugs, let him out. They knew who it was. You're going to get that repeatedly. SEPTA is certainly not going to protect you. I mean, the last time I rode SEPTA was in 2016. And I remember Dan, because it's on my mind again, asking around the time of the 2017 Eagles, we might have a repeat of the Eagles headed to the Super Bowl. Thoughts on, I don't know if you were taking this, I think it was a subway, around a party or something, Super Bowl and all that, saying, yeah, you can, but you're rolling the dice. Wasn't that it?
I can't remember exactly what it was now. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It was taking SEPTA, and it was that or driving and parking, and would that be a situation? 2016, I had to take it to get down to the center where the convention was. Mm-hmm. I would go into the office at 4th and Market, then take it down there, and it was okay. But, I mean, it was like 9 o'clock in the morning, and I was coming home at like 3:30 or 12:30. I mean,
I honestly, I don't remember the specific situation, but there was just a rash of a couple in a row where, I initially started taking the train into work.
Right.
And then taking it to events. And I vaguely remember what you're talking about. And it was, I think, a Eagles game or a Phillies game. And me and Maisie were discussing whether or not to take it.
It was Super Bowl, I'm pretty sure.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, but just people shooting up and all this. And there was a time that we went on and there was someone legitimately boiling something on a spoon. And it's like, what the hell are you doing that in public? And it's just, it was fascinating to see.
And Leslie Richards will move on to another cushy job, another disgrace from Josh Shapiro. And whoever they put in there, they're not empowered to do what they have to do. Arrest these people. Every single one of them, arrest them. Oh, well, then there's Larry Krasner. All right, so you're not going to be safe on SEPTA. I don't care how many years the Sixers thing is there. It's a joke to say they're going to make it safe. It might even be less safe by then. But Philadelphia City Council meeting today, they're going to pass it. Why? This is what they do. They don't care about any of this stuff. They care about one thing, building trades, jobs. That's what they all want. And they're dangling that in front of them to get what they want. This idiotic place, I don't see any way that I'll go to this. It's just the inconvenience factor on this is so great. I was hoping how bad, Henry suggested the other day, how bad the Sixers are this year as an organization. People might say, look at this. Are they worth it? It doesn't matter. It's not about them. It's about the black clergy. It's about the building trades. It's about those insiders. What about the people in Chinatown? Aren't they an ethnic group too? Yeah, really? You think that's going to matter? Chinatown? All right, 855-839-1210. Hit me with something Canadian. And this shooting. Look, we're not having a parade for a guy who, I get the questionable nature of some of these healthcare companies, how much they're making, the draconian stuff that they do, like this sedation. In the middle of it, you're not sedated anymore? My God, that can't be true. But this celebration on social media, people boldly talking about shooting people because they're a healthcare executive, an oil company executive. You know, where does it end? Well, it doesn't. It doesn't end once you go down this path. All right, 855-839-1210. You get on board with Dom, Dan, and Henry.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
Marine Corps veteran Brad Adams. Good to have you here in studio. How you doing?
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You look like you're still ready to go into combat right now, man. Guns out, jacked up. I need one of those polos, by the way.
I'm just a volunteer, man. I have no pull there, you know, so right. I'll put in a good word for you.
All right. Well, if you can't get me the shirt, maybe you can help me with the arms.
Okay. All right. We'll do that.
Give me your workout routine.
Okay.
All right. There you go. Brad Adams, great to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you, too. Thank you.
You got it.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED. And it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
The continuing rise of the cost of goods and services threatens to erode your retirement future.
Susan Sinoski, Downingtown, Pennsylvania. Retirees should be thinking about how much money they have and how long it's going to last. Costs are just skyrocketing. Medical costs, housing, food especially. And when was the last time you ever heard of a tax decrease? And I have to say, I have no fear at all, because my money is safeguarded with crash-proof retirement. And with our crash-proof retirement system, our money is not just stable, but it's actually increasing much more than we had expected. That money is always added to our principal without anybody getting a cut of that. It's just ours. We earn it, it goes into our account, and it continues to grow and multiply. My entire investment for retirement is protected.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at the Copperfield Inn on January 22nd. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
This school year, get your child or grandchild the help they need to succeed. Special tutoring and custom instruction is available from METC, the Motivational Educational Tutoring Company. Now's the time to call Kathy Ganna and help your child have an outstanding year. Call the Motivational Educational Tutoring Company. For over 30 years, METC's tutoring studio, founded by educator Kathy Ganna, has helped people of all ages grow personally and academically. Call Kathy today at 215-493-4200. METC offers motivational SAT SAT prep as well as academic skills and leadership training. Call 215-493-4200. Visit online at METC.com. Call METC's tutoring studio today at 215-493-4200 or email Kathy directly at info@METC.com. Remember, 1210 listeners receive a free 1-hour consultation. Take advantage of this opportunity to help your child get one-on-one help. Call 215-493-4200. That's 215-493-4200.
Free speech in Philly on Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT.
All right, Dom Giordano, this in from one of Dan's favorite sites. Well, Reddit, Philly Reddit says the best place for women in Philadelphia to meet guys, go to sports bars, particularly during games. Oh, man.
I mean, it's a great suggestion.
Is it?
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, there's a lot of guys. Let's start with that. We get that. But is this the guys that you want to be meeting?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah? Why? What make your case there? I'm not seeing
like the
this
person that
necessarily.
I really contextualize with is, if not Henry, I don't know if he does, but the person I think of is Anthony Dorenzo. I mean, he's obviously a taken person, but he's often at a sports bar that we're both familiar with on sporting
So I
events.
have a wrong opinion of guys hanging out at sports bars a lot.
I think a little bit. Like, Anthony's a good guy, right?
Oh, yeah,
What
definitely.
what
Great
type of
guy.
guys do you think are hanging around sports bars, Dom?
People that are a little bit too overly engaged in sports, I might say.
Oh, no, not here in
Yeah.
Philadelphia, man.
No.
The experience at a sports bar during one of these games, like an Eagles game or a Phillies playoff game,
Yes.
not necessarily a Phillies regular season game, there's nothing else like it.
Yeah, it's a
All
great
right.
camaraderie.
Okay, well, then I need the other side here now. I need some women to call in and tell us where would they say.
Yeah, where do you
meet-
say they should go, Dom? The Italian market down in South Philly?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, get there,
well,
get
I
themselves
would
some
say,
Italian guys.
No, wait a minute. I would say at a Politics and Pints event.
There you go.
Mulligans. All right, so I've come up with two here when we do an event. I let women tell us, though. They're the ones that should be the arbiter of this. Does that sound like something
You are the
they would
all-time
engage?
ladies man, Dom.
Well, that's true.
You are.
But I mean,
Dom, you're a classy guy.
thank you. You would not see necessarily a ton of women there. So there's that advantage. There will be a lot of guys. And you think these would guys that would be, that you'd be interested in.
Yeah.
You'd have something in common with.
Like, it's sad because we're at a point, right, that there's no collective meeting place for young people anymore, that they've been relegated to only be able to find matches online. So if you're talking about a communal place where people gather over a desired interest, it's bars first off, but more specifically, if you want to have a good chance of meeting a guy, that's when those bars are most heavily populated, and that would be during a sporting event at a sports bar.
Back up a little bit, though. How have we been relegated that you have to do this online? Who is it that did this?
I'm
Because
with you on
Dom,
I'm
it's
with you on that,
impossible to
Dom.
go and meet women in public.
I disagree. I think just nobody has the stones to go up and
There
talk
you
to a
go.
girl.
That's it. Henry hits the age-old thing, Dan. He and I are completely in
But
sync.
you have to be present, or there has to be a person there.
Yes.
Like, you go to a bar on a weeknight that there's no sporting event. It's three people sitting in a bar, mostly over
true.
50,
Yeah,
having a
but
conversation with the bartender.
To the broader sense, you worked where Maisie was. So work is one thing. I met Ro at graduate school. That's another thing. She didn't know who I was, allegedly, when I called her. That's not true. I want to. If she ever tells you that, Dan, she's probably texting that right now. So the point is, I think Henry's more right. I think your generations, or say people under 40, have made that up, and they just don't have the what it takes to do it. It's not easy.
Well, it's also
approach women.
You're also kind of bearing the lead here that it's 2024 and it's much harder to approach women than it was years ago, because you don't know where you're going to be faced. Like it's obviously there are safe lines, like pickup lines and all. Well, I don't even know what's a safe pickup line in today's day
that
and
might
age.
be a great side question for tomorrow. This is bubbling. You have your censor button ready.
But
Some of these guys, what they might say.
If you approach too aggressively, you're quickly labeled a creep, or
Exactly.
it's tough.
Yeah, but women are more meeting you halfway, or 40%, you're 60%. Back in the day, it was harder.
I disagree.
Women
I
could
disagree that
show
it was harder back in the day.
I think so. This online is an excuse.
It is an excuse, and it doesn't work. So you got to go.
So
out
there's
there
so like you could go to the park and meet a girl easily back in the day. Throw a frisbee, it accidentally lands near their picnic basket.
There's your pickup line right there.
Wait a minute.
Still do that today.
Henry, save this for the all-time show top 10. Throwing a Frisbee that lands near a pickup basket.
John on YouTube writes in safe pickup line, hey, baby, want to get lucky? No, you're going to get slapped in the face, John.
That's a no.
Put that down as a potential side tomorrow, but we have to censor 90% of these guys.
Yeah.
I'll ask Ro that. The text Dan.
Did it hurt
say?
When you fell from heaven?
Oh, God. Yes, Walker. Yes. No, but Henry's right. It takes a lot of guts to do it. That's what's required.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
Look, if you want to have a girl, you gotta put in the work. You gotta put in the effort.
There you go.
I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus, so I'll ask Henry, do you have a significant other?
I do.
Okay. There you go.
Hey, whoa.
Right.
Yeah.
And how did you discover said significant other?
We were friends for a while.
Oh.
But how'd you guys first meet?
Through a friend of a friend, and then
a friend named online app.
No, not at all.
See, that's the other component, Dan. Women love, like Ro, to set people up. I've witnessed her doing that constantly and stuff that I said, I don't know about that. Oh, it'll work. You watch. It's like their sport to set people up. Definitely.
Well, that's another thing. I don't think people are setting each other up anymore.
No, they're not. And that is a long art that used to be fun, mainly, I think, for women, sexist. Yeah. Men weren't, engaged. Oh, Henry, this woman. Well, then he would go after her if she's perfect.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, I think I have to say today.
So let me ask you, just any kind of suggestion. Where would you suggest they go to meet somebody?
Yeah, today. All right. What are some of the...
Your neighborhood bar, Applebee's? Half-price apps night?
I think it's got to be through something where there's a mutual interest. Work. I know that's complicated.
The racetrack? Make some bets? Where are we going to go?
I don't think there is a particular place. It's through a network.
Online network?
No, not all. I can't imagine online. I hate to say it. It just seems... It seems bad. I can't even imagine having to do online. I say prayers for guys today, really.
Yeah, basically online is that you go after girls that you would never approach in real life.
Right.
They never respond to you, but the ones that do respond to you are the ones you go, no, not for me.
Well, or I've read, I don't know, I never experienced this, thank gosh, because I found Maisie before the online dating, but there's a lot of, let's go on a date, pay for my dinner. Hey, that was really nice. Let's just be friends.
Oh, God, yes. Thank you. You're making an argument against your own case. Not saying it's easy, Dan. It's more just circumstances, not going to a place that come up and you have to be a little bit forward, which is not easy.
You do, and it doesn't matter what the venue is. You just got to do it. I mean,
exactly.
it could be through a shared interest. It doesn't have to be at a bar, but like you got to put yourself out there. You got to put yourself in new situations in order to find these people, find someone you have a connection with.
I couldn't agree more. It's not easy. But
Newman writes, and if I could rearrange the alphabet, I'd put you and I together.
Why don't you just ask
again? Newman says,
sign is at that point?
Are your legs tired? Because you've been running through my mind all day.
If we tried this as a side question, oh my God, the possibilities.
John, YouTube.com/@1210WPHT. Always a great chat there. John, go like and subscribe. John says, you just have to approach especially good-looking women, have some game, make them laugh, spend some money. You can guess the rest. No, I can't, John.
They're getting worse. It's getting worse. All right. Somebody hung up. I hope they call back in, Dan. They had a great, I won't say the full thing about Canada here. I was just about ready to go to them, but you were on fire there. Let's go to Scott in Mount Laurel on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Scott. Good afternoon.
Hey, Don. Dan sounds like his Frisbee in the park. He's watched a few too many movies.
And a picnic basket.
Yeah, right.
Hey, why do you have all those Frisbees that you're throwing over here? Oh, God.
Stack of 30 of them.
I tell you, the online meeting thing is, I think it's just a way, like I think Dan kind of alluded to it, that, you can meet 20 people in one day compared to if you're out somewhere, maybe you'll meet one or two. But meeting in person is definitely better.
Yeah, and like anything else, Scott, it takes guts to be the one that somehow or another breaks through and starts a conversation. Not easy at all.
Yeah, it's just something you have to do. That's right. The healthcare thing, the way to bring costs down is to have a free market. We know that because it's the government corruption along with the corrupt bargain with the healthcare companies that limits competition. It's always in the name of helping the poor, but the reality is they're trying to limit competition so they can have an effective monopoly. It's just the way the colleges do it.
That's what is always my first thought. This is very similar to college that's going on here. And again, if RFK goes into that, if he's part of it with that in mind, Scott, that's a good thing. I just am a bit protective when it comes to villainizing all drug companies. I mean, look at some of the advances, look at some of the things we take for granted versus, to your point, the insiders on the vaccine stuff and all, for example.
Well, I think that the government really kind of forces those companies to get into these bargains. Basically, we're going to, regulate you to oblivion, but I tell you what, we'll give you this and we'll give you that. And like I said, they come up with this way of working it out that they can control things, but, make it at least palatable for the drug companies. The drug companies, I think, would rather be free.
Yeah, I think so. Without a doubt. Who's your Canadian?
Mine is Gordie Howe. I have an autograph memorabilia business. I did a lot of signings over the years. We did one with Gordie, and what a great guy. First of all, he's showing me with these sticks, these autograph sticks, by the way, how to face off. And as I'm about to face off, when somebody's dropping the puck, of course, his stick goes up my crotch.
Well, I still think he's the greatest hockey player of all time. I know Gretzky. I know all that stuff. But Gordie Howe, to me, that's hockey.
Did you end up beating Gordie Howe in the one-on-one game, Scott?
Was that?
Did you beat Gordie Howe in the one-on-one game, or did you just
I guess I'm assuming I won the face-off. I was a little distracted with his stick. But, the other thing about him was that, so two other little things. One is, so I'm taking a picture with him at the end, and I'm standing there smiling. All of a sudden, right before the camera goes, he puts his hands around my neck. So I have this great picture of him, pretending to strangle me. And then the last thing, that was just to show what kind of a guy he was. We had people that were folding up these autograph jerseys and stuff, and he's just hanging around with nothing to do. He starts helping us fold them and put them away.
Oh, boy. That's a heck of a... that reminds us of Joe Watson at Mulligan's. Exactly.
Yeah, those old-time hockey guys.
I didn't go into any corners there in case there was a loose puck. His grip alone, just a normal handshake. It was crushing. Just a crushing guy. Oh, yeah.
I met Gordie in his 60s, and you can still tell that he's got that strength in him.
Absolutely. Thank you, Scott. That's a good one. Gordie Howe.
Gordie Howe, only player in modern sports to play in 5 different decades.
Wow. And hockey's not the type of thing where you're going to last that long.
Did he ever play with his son?
He did, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And when he came up, I think when Howe started, there were only six teams. Imagine in the whole world, there's only 6 teams of, 12.
Yeah.
You got 72 guys in the whole world trying to make a pro living. How competitive that is.
He played from 1946 to 1980.
Wow. Yeah, that's stunning stuff. All right, 855-839-1210. Let's talk Captain Chucky's for a moment. Hey, the holiday season is here. Busy, right? No worries, Captain Chucky's. More than just the crab cakes. They are the star. But Captain Chucky's has a laundry list of things to offer, whether you're hosting or wanting to take something to a gathering. Think about that part. Now, Captain Chucky's known for those fantastic crab cakes, the wild-caught shrimp, and the soups, but they're also teaming up with some well-known family-owned businesses to offer some other great products. Captain Chucky's and Marciano's Bakery of Philadelphia have launched their newest invention, the Bang Bang Crab Cake and Cheese Specialty Bread, available for now at most Captain Chucky's locations. They also have the Taste of Philly section. They got something for everyone. Stock's Pound Cakes, Marciano's Specialty Breads, pierogies from the Pierogi Kitchen of Roxborough, Chef Matt's Key Lime Pies, Derby's Philly Famous Clams Casino, and also the Vera Pasta Company of Westchester, who produced Captain Chucky's own line of all the pastas, 3 different raviolis, their own lobster, bangin' crab, and finally their shrimp ravioli in their own jarred blush sauce. So just check out their website and local Captain Chucky's for availability. And it's never been a better time to get those dom rolls. Make it a point to try the dom roll over the holidays. It's all here for you. One location to go, WeLoveCrabCakes.com to find out everything. WeLoveCrabCakes.com. Going to the shore, visit Captain Chucky's at the shore.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-408-4040. That's 800-408-4040.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
Revamp your living space with Emmons Remodeling.
Our seasoned designers and construction experts bring creativity and expertise to every project, ensuring stunning results for you and your family.
From new layouts to upgraded finishes, at Emmons Remodeling, we do it all.
So call us today at 856-885-6677 or visit us on the web at callemmons.com. From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Turn off the financial news and turn on a great retirement. Find out how with Joe Yakovich on The Heart of Your Money, Sundays at 9 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Weather is sponsored by Winter Ford.
A wind advisory remains in effect as an Arctic cold front moves through the region. We'll see some sunshine with temperatures dropping through the 30s, winds gusting up to near 50 miles per hour. Tonight, windy and cold, mostly clear with a low 26. And for Friday, mixture of sun and clouds, not as windy with a high 38.
The Winter Ford Cherry Hill Get Holiday Ready sales event. See Dino Rucci and his team for discounts and rebates up to $10,000 on new Fords. Call 800-428-4000 for details. Check your savings at winterford.com.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Dom Giordano's show. DJ sent me this from Philly Reddit. Best place to meet guys for women. Philadelphia sports bars, particularly during the game. Bill Devlin, Pastor Bill Devlin reporting, texted me, Dan. 50% of the couples I married in the last 4 years have met online.
Huh.
All right, so there you
go. There you go with the pastor.
Well, he's not saying that's a good thing. Then he went on a diatribe condemning it, saying it's
I thought he was going
to
suggest maybe church.
I thought he would. Yeah, come on, Pastor Bill Devlin. Where would you suggest? The prayer meeting, the lecture of Pastor Bill Devlin? Now, Devlin, Dan, could be a contestant for Caller of the Year. I mean, he doesn't call in all the time, and he's a guest a lot.
I do have some of the other comments from Reddit as well.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yes, the top one, go to a sports bar during an Eagles game. Plenty of guys there, be interested in the game, yell at the TV, curse at the refs, say, can you believe this crap? Talk about how stupid the Giants are for practically gifting us Saquon, wear green, say, go Birds to any guy you think is cute, and you'll find one.
They'll fall in love with you right
there.
there.
There you go. Absolutely, yeah.
Second one, generally just go to places with the crowd vibe that you're looking to meet/attract. I get your point about nicer places being dating spots, but it could be really any place. On the other hand, go hang out at a total S-hole. Sane, well-adjusted guys hang out at those places too. They'll stand out. Source, I'm a sane, well-adjusted guy that likes to hang out at really crappy bars.
That's kind of doubtful that we're hearing that.
I like a good hole in the wall.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, there's pitcher friend thing going around Philadelphia where you can have one of your friends make a PowerPoint about you and present it in a bar full of other singles.
Oh, my God.
It's definitely awkward, but everyone is there for the same reason, and guys will have a better idea if you're their type while approaching you.
The PowerPoint.
Pitcher friend, that's apparently a real thing.
Oh, PowerPoint stuff.
Yeah, someone says, I actually went to one of these and presented my friend / was presented. I talked to some nice people who wanted to inquire about my friend before the presentations began. Woe is me. But it definitely skews older. There were about 15 presenters and only 3 were under 30. It's definitely still a fun event to attend and could be worth a shot.
We got to get the person on that, on this PowerPoint thing. So it's, as we move toward Christmas here. I blame women for a lot of this. They're not fixing people up anymore. It used to be the national pastime. They're not doing it. It's Maisie. It's people like Roe. They're not fixing people up. Used to be 2 or 3 a year they would do it. Come on.
Well, we try.
No, it's women. Women are falling down. It's Barbara in Bucks County. Hey, Barbara, what do you say?
It's all Barbara's fault, huh?
Hey.
Yes.
How you doing?
Good, Barbara.
I think that one of the best places is go to the gym. You meet a lot of guys. You meet a lot of girls. You get to see what their body's like before you ever go out with them. And,
that's great advice.
The other one is
yes.
When you go to the park.
Yes.
You borrow somebody's puppy and you walk the puppy, and all the girls will stop to see the puppy.
Exactly.
You can say, "Oh, do you have a puppy?" And you pick them up.
Hey, what's that dog leash shooting over there, Henry? I mean, what are you doing with that?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, those are great pieces of. So the guys you would meet at a gym, though, are they appropriate?
Sure, and you can see if they're buff and if they're in shape or whatever. If they don't look good, don't date them.
There you go.
There you go.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you. That's good advice. It's all in one spot, the gym.
So, Dom.
With a dog park.
If you were a single guy,
yes.
Let's imagine that Ro wasn't in the picture, but she is in the picture, and she's fantastic. So let's put that out there. So this is completely hypothetical. Ro is absolutely amazing. But say we brought you to a bar, Dom. We want to do a PowerPoint presentation for the Dom Giordano Finding a Woman. What goes on the PowerPoint presentation for Dom Giordano?
Oh, you mean physical?
Can outrun a bear?
That can outrun a bear.
But seriously, if you put that on your PowerPoint presentation, do you think you'd get a positive reaction, or like this guy's crazy?
No, I think that's a positive. This guy's fun. He's going to be outrunning bears.
Include the fact that incredible self-confidence.
Yes.
Do you include the fact that you drive with your left foot?
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
of course. Talk radio host.
That's actual good. Do you include that you're a conservative talk radio host?
Yes. Yeah, sure. We want to narrow them down. Well, no, I don't care if they're. Roe was a moderate Democrat who's moved down the line from that. So
but you don't say talk. Would you say conservative talk radio?
Sure.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well,
open it up for political discussions at the bar. That's what I'm asking.
I kind of resent that because we always get labeled that. I might just say talk radio host.
Yeah.
Why? Not go. You're a liberal talk radio host.
What's conservative about the conversation we're having right now? Talking about dating people in bars, right?
We got to get this data point person on, though. I think that's exactly.
Yeah.
This idea that all we talk about is healthcare or, what Trump's doing at this moment. There's a lot of that, without a doubt. It's a mix, though.
I'm going to get a call saying, why aren't you talking about Trump right
Well,
now?
there you go. Well, yeah, there is that element out there, and they're probably, never mind. 855, they're not dating too much. 855-839-1210.
Someone says, I'm a single guy just watching this thread to see where they send all the single ladies, so I'll be there myself.
If we do that as a side question, though, and last caller, too. Wow, that was good stuff. All right, coming up, is there a Dan time today? After you've done your work, though.
Yeah, I feel like I've done enough.
Throwing a Frisbee to picnic baskets.
There was a bit of a TikTok trend where, guys would be throwing a football to each other, and the one guy would essentially throw an errant pass to the other guy standing right near a group of girls, and he'd make the catch and go, "You ladies all right?"
Oh, my God.
It's a Frisbee trick,
It's
man.
the Frisbee trick, yeah.
Yeah,
It's the
okay.
same thing.
All right.
I think we've probably detoured too far. Don, maybe bring things back after the break and no Dan time today.
Oh, no Dan time. All right, we'll come to the callers then. 855-839-1210. Dave McCormick coming up at 2 o'clock. He was there at Butler when President Trump was shot. The Secret Service thing today is just fascinating. We ought to have more hearings like this. And I would not call and say time has expired. I'd say keep it on here. Well, let's get it on here. Let's hear how we really think, what you think your role is as head of the Secret Service, and what we think this organization is, which is a screw-up organization, another one. The evidence is plentiful here. The question is, though, is it they don't want to protect Trump somewhat, somehow or another, or they're just screw-ups? I go with the incompetency, mixed in with a little blend with some of them of, why go all out for Trump? Some of that's in there. But mainly, they're another incompetent group that needs to be replaced or gotten rid of. I don't know what we do. Private people? Hey, let's talk about Dr. Bentz for a moment. My dentist, board-certified prosthodontist, my friend, Dr. Robert Bentz. And at the Bentz Dental Group, what you're going to see is every day striving to make your dental care both less anxiety-producing, more buy-in from you as a patient, because the technology that they have, that he's always had, that he keeps on refining, will allow Dr. Bentz to diagnose and to show you exactly where things are and where we're going. So much so, talking with him recently in that 20-minute talk I had with him that we played excerpts from, we're talking about finding, something out of a patient recently that others had missed that was really serious. This is the type of thing that goes on every day, cutting-edge, state-of-the-art equipment, technology that elevates the level of care that you get, including the end result, your teeth. Consistent, precise. He's got a great guy, John, who's kind of an artisan that works in making your teeth. It's all in-house, along with the technology. Dr. Bentz and his team at the Bentz Dental Group provide solutions for the most complex dental cases. And they, as a long-term patient, they get you involved in your own care and commitment that you're going to make for great dental care. Call them right now to get that initial appointment, 610-272-6949. You can check all this out, too, at BentzDentalGroup.com. Bentz Dental Group, say it with a smile. Give them a call, 610-272-6949.
Your weeknights are getting a whole lot better. With Jimmy Fallon, 7 to 10 p.m.
Back when I was a cab driver, trying to make my way in comedy and find some entree into television and radio and everything in between, I was writing articles, mocking sports culture and cancel culture and things like that. And they had booked me an interview on WPHT. They were the very first radio station to ever book me as a guest. We had a lot of laughs. So to be sitting here, 8 or 9 years later as a host in your lineup is obviously a really big deal to me personally.
Jimmy Fallon, now weeknights, 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Window Nation presents the 1210 WPHT Veteran Spotlight in partnership with the Travis Manion Foundation. Listen the first Wednesday of every month as Kale & Company shines a spotlight on a local veteran, highlighting their remarkable commitment to the community and their exceptional service in the military. Presented by Window Nation. At Window Nation, there's nothing more important than giving back to the communities we serve. For all of your window and door needs, visit windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. You know how important online privacy and security is these days. That's why I subscribe to Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo. It's a 3-in-1 subscription service, and it includes DuckDuckGo's VPN, personal information removal, and identity theft restoration. That's 3 features for the price of 1. Right now, we're able to offer you a free 30-day trial at DuckDuckGo.com/1210. I discovered DuckDuckGo years ago. It's an independent browser, search engine, millions use it, and now you can get an extra layer of online protection with the DuckDuckGo VPN. It secures your Wi-Fi connection anytime, anywhere, home, work, abroad. Yes, when I travel to Italy, I'll be using it, and it's so easy to use. Connect in just one click in the DuckDuckGo browser, and I check my VPN status at a glance. Get a 30-day free trial at DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Then you pay $9.99 a month. Do this. DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Tell them Dawn sent you.
At Independence Blue Cross, we take care of the people who take care of you. Everyday heroes like firefighters, police officers, teachers, farmers, and healthcare workers. Doctors and hospitals across the region have IBX, and they know what it means to have reliable access to care. So whether you're saving lives or just trying to live a healthier life, count on IBX, the region's #1 health insurer for 85 years. Learn more at IBX.com.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-253-6259. 800-253-6259. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-253-6259.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
It's stand time
I can handle things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says.
with Dom.
Yeah, that's right. It's stand time with Dom, and I said I wasn't going to do it, but you know what, Dom? I am going to do it because I want to give a quick update. On the desk of David Muir and ABC News last night was none other than the story we talked about on yesterday's Coast to Coast with Dan and Dom, where we talked about the Morris County drones that are appearing over arsenals and the Trump National Golf Course. They look like airplanes, but they're not. They're drones. FBI's involved, and now national media. And you tell me, Dom, that Jesse Water was talking about it last night as well. But
yes.
Have you developed any theories further on this, Dom?
No, I don't have any theory. My theory is always, what the hell is going on that we can't bring in the right forces to stop this? I don't get it.
So my response would be that what if they are stopping it and they're working on it, but they just don't want the public to know exactly what the threat is yet?
Well, and transparency's better here. I mean, this is...
I bring it all back to, the Chinese weather balloon
Yeah.
situation where, again, there was this kind of like, why the hell aren't they
Right.
shooting this thing down, or why aren't they doing anything with it? But meanwhile, they allegedly were just tracking it and trying to figure out exactly what it was, so maybe that's what's happening here, and they just...
Again, that doesn't inspire confidence.
So not aliens, though?
No.
No?
Sorry
I'll have
for the
to
alien.
keep waiting for
yes,
that?
Yeah, but get them on as a
not
guest,
this
Henry.
time.
Start working on that.
But yes, FBI still looking into the situation. No developments yet, but stay tuned on Dan Time because we will be following the story, and hopefully we'll have some answers eventually.
Village People founder tells Fox, so I'd really like to get this guy on, Henry. I think this would be, he's doing interviews. And Dan...
Well, ask Dan. Dan's real good buddies.
Go through Randy, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's right. We're going to hear the gay stuff again. We're going to probe all that, so to speak.
Oh.
He says, pun intended, he says why he endorsed Trump's use of YMCA. It brings so much joy to the American people. That's exactly it.
It does.
I mean, I think it looks dorky, the whole thing, but people are loving it. They're having fun
What
with
other song do you cheese out like you do when you hear
Yes,
YMCA?
exactly.
And, go full on corny for no reason.
I remember the Village People, North Wildwood, their cover band that does it. And they were doing great. I thought they were doing a whole bunch of stuff. These people are just screaming in their beach chairs, though, in the middle of 2nd Street down, whatever it is. I think it's 2nd Avenue. Do YMCA.
Yeah.
And, of course, they're not going to do it until the last song. The tension with the audience. You know what it is? You have to have a big body of stuff if you're doing an hour and 15 minutes. If you have one song that's blockbuster. And if I were the Neil Diamond guys, I would not do Sweet Caroline. First of all, I wouldn't do it. But
no,
you got to do it at the
what,
end.
You're talking like Real Diamond? The cover
Real
band?
Diamonds. I hate it. I just
Real
it's
Diamonds.
sick.
No, if you go to a Real Diamond show though, or a Neil Diamond show, that you go expecting to hear Sweet Caroline.
Right, but you got to do it at the end, right? And if they're
Agreed.
screaming to do, Sweet Caroline,
Maybe do it twice.
But well, that's attention. There's one thing they want for whatever
What's
reason.
your favorite song, Dom?
Oh God.
Sing it.
You know my reason why I don't like it? It's the Boston Red Sox fans. And I can't stand it. They're pretentious. That's the only reason.
I was in Fenway this summer. I had a good time singing it.
Okay.
You want to sing it for us, Henry?
No.
Okay. All right. 855-839-1210. Can I go to Rick? We got, let me give Rick a minute here. I wanted to hear this. Then we'll go to Dave McCormick. Hey, Rick, inventor, thanks for calling in. What's your comment, Rick? Yo, Rick. A lot of wind, inventor. Very windy out there today, too, Dan.
Oh, perfect timing.
When I had to walk here since my parking spot was taken up by some truck unloading iron ore or something out in front of per usual. And then I'm mad. A guy actually parked in a spot I couldn't get in. I'll never do that again. I will try to get in there no matter what. All right. Coming up.
Sweet.
Oh, no. Don't bring Henry into this just because you wanted to do it. All right, let's stiffen up here a little bit. Here comes Dave McCormick calling in. None of this nonsense. Dave McCormick, Senator McCormick, now with us next on Talk Radio 1210.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $40 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $18 a month, a savings of nearly $300 a year.
Whether you need a $100,000 policy or a $10 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. In a hurry? Don't worry. With SelectQuote, you can get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-637-9116. That's 1-800-637-9116. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-637-9116.
Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Listen, here's the secret to your holiday savings. Ready? You can get gifts starting at just $3.99. Toys from Disney, Mattel, Barbie, Sonic, Looney Tunes, Fisher-Price, Play-Doh, Nerf, Hot Wheels, and more. You can put a bow on these brands and won't break the bank. Adidas, Champion, Puma, Reebok, Converse, True Religion, DKNY, and Levi's are all at prices so low, they're basically a gift. The savings are hiding at You can put a bow on these brands and won't break the bank.
On Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. I don't know what entrance music, Dan, you have for Dave McCormick. I'll tell you that Scott Jennings was calling me dude and all in a text after you had the Hulk Hogan music yesterday. He said your producer has great taste.
Oh, well, thank you, Scott Jennings.
Now, Senator-elect Dave McCormick, we can put the official, well, we really could for the last few weeks. It's just Bob Casey who didn't want to put that elect on there. Dave McCormick joins us. First time we've had him on since all that stuff. Dave,
hey, Dom,
welcome in
how are
officially. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm happy to be with you and excited for getting started to get moving on all the things we talked about during the campaign.
So, Dave, you're going through or have gone through orientation and the rest of it. What's your biggest observation so far now that you're actually in the club?
We did a couple of days of orientation, and it was sort of typical coming to a new organization and budgeting and sort of all the administrative stuff. And then at the end of the second day, we walked into the chamber. And you're on the floor of the chambers. It's very small. I'd never been on the floor of the Senate chamber. There's 100 desks, and you're looking up and you see Daniel Webster statues, Daniel Webster, LBJ, Robert F. Kennedy. And you realize that I'm the 58th elected senator in Pennsylvania's history, and there's a great tradition. And so I feel an enormous sense of responsibility to really go to Washington and bring about the change that people voted for. I feel a huge sense of responsibility to represent every single Pennsylvanian. There's a little less than half of Pennsylvanians who didn't vote for me that voted, and I need to go out and support their needs. And these problems are not Republican problems or Democratic problems. Wide open borders, inflation, the war on fossil fuels. So I'm excited and a little, I take it very seriously, the responsibility that I've been given.
What committees will you be on? Do you know yet?
I don't know. You put in your request for committees, and then there's a whole process they decide. But I want to be on committees that can directly address the things we talked about on the campaign. So I want to be on committees that affect inflation and job growth and opportunity for working families. I want to be on there's a number of committees that are directly involved in energy, permitting reform, and the kinds of things that are going to open up Pennsylvania's energy sector. We did have a series of meetings earlier this week with Senator Thune and all the Republican senators. President Trump called into that meeting, and I can tell you there's a lot of focus on getting out fast and doing the things that President Trump and those of us who ran promised, particularly securing the border, stopping this horrible flow of fentanyl. This is a real opportunity to make some dramatic changes and get the country back on track.
Well, one of those would be, so give us some of the timelines of how this is going to happen with the cabinet picks, because there are at least 5 or 6, and then there's always a wild card or two, where I think they'll be extended. There'll be a lot of back and forth. So in your mind, how does that work? When does that start?
Where the new Senate is sworn in January 3rd, and I suspect hearings will be starting immediately. People will have their committee assignments and start the meetings. And it's really important that we move very quickly on this. In a matter of weeks, we would hope to have the president's cabinet in place. And my view on this is President Trump was very explicit what he ran on. He ran on a very dramatic change agenda. And he talked about the kind of people he needed on his cabinet to hire to go do that. And we need to, in my opinion, stand up very clearly to try to help President Trump get the cabinet he needs to be successful and get the right folks in place. At the same time, the Senate has a responsibility to advise and consent. And so I'm taking that very seriously. I'm going to meet with every nominee. I've met with some already and go through the hearings very quickly and try to get the president's team in place as quickly as we can.
Give us some sense, if you can, not the private conversation, but some sense of some of these meetings, like some of the cabinet people, Dave, and your overall impression of it.
Well, my overall impression is he's nominated a number of really substantial people that are really gonna bring change. And most recently, I had an opportunity to sit down with Elise Stefanik yesterday, I guess the day before, and she's going to be a real change agent at the United Nations. And as you know, she's been a extremely strong voice on anti-Semitism, really holding the universities to account. And I think we've had huge problems with anti-Semitism at the United Nations. And I think she'll be a very strong voice there. I've got a number of additional meetings set up for the coming week. And, basically what I feel my obligation is to really understand the person, what kind of leadership they want to bring. I'm someone who doesn't kind of spend a lot of time reading what the media is saying. I want to see the actual facts on the ground. I think I learned in my own campaign that the media comes with a really strong bias. And so it's a matter of cutting through all the noise and getting to the abilities of the nominees and what they can bring to the president's agenda.
I'm glad you mentioned Stefanik because, this is like Hall of Fame voting when Babe Ruth comes up for a job. I think she, in my mind, she's 1, 2, or 3, the strongest pick, particularly for that job. And what she did with the presidentes of these institutions that were anti-Semitic or had large anti-Semitic groups there was astounding to break them down in the manner that she did. That's the strongest. If it's not 100-0, I'd love to know the objection they find with Stefanik just for once. Although, Hall of Fame, I don't think Babe Ruth had 100, whatever the vote was.
Yeah, I don't know. I won't speculate on what the vote breakdown will be, but I do think. Listen, I do think this was a very clear-cut election, and President Trump had both support across all the swing states, big support in Pennsylvania. He won the popular vote. He's been given a mandate to go, and he ran very explicitly on what he was running for. That was one of the reasons he won, I think, was he was very explicit about what he would do. And I think Vice President Harris wasn't very specific about what she would do. And I think that contrast is why President Trump won. And I've seen him a number of times. I was had dinner with him just a couple last week. And this is a guy who's very focused on delivering on the promise. That the promise.
Yeah, but Dave, you're underselling this. You were at the table. That's why I sent you a text with Trudeau there with Trump, joking about, well, you can be the governor of the 51st state.
Yeah, well, it was. Somebody said, was there a meeting before dinner? I said that there was the meeting. And listen, the great thing about President Trump is, what you see is what you get. And the guy that you saw on the campaign trail, all these rallies in Pennsylvania, that was the same guy at the table, talking about those same things and making sure that America and Pennsylvania gets a fair deal on all its trade relations, and making sure that the Prime Minister knew that we were going to ensure that we do get a fair deal, and then talking about this wide open border. And there's obviously the majority of the border problems on the southern border, but there's also a growing border problem on the northern border, and some of those same cartels that I talked about in my campaign that are bringing fentanyl into Pennsylvania, they've now moved to the north and are trying to bring in that fentanyl through the northern border. So, listen, we've got a lot of problems. We've got a lot of opportunity, and I'm excited about the opportunity to really be a strong voice for Pennsylvania, and I'm humbled by it.
Well, it was a great campaign, and again, a thing you and I always talk about, you want to put this seat, Pennsylvania. Look, Fetterman, because of his brand at least, is out there. That's a legitimate criticism of Bob Casey, aside from the ideology. And that is, you need a guy in Pennsylvania that's going to be in the top front and center of 10 or 15 senators. We are that state. At least Fetterman, for his own reasons, is there in that. Yeah, we need to have a strong voice. I mean, we need to punch not only at our weight, but above our weight. Right. We're the 6th largest economy in the United States, where America was born, for God's sakes. We are the place that's the keystone state that has determined the presidency in 2 of the last 3 elections. Pennsylvania really matters, and we need to have political leadership that makes sure that Pennsylvania's needs, the needs of our great members of our Commonwealth, are satisfied. And I see that very clearly. And as you know, Dom, I'm a conservative. I'm a strong Republican, but my job is to represent everybody. And these problems are in front of us. I will go tackle with every bit of my energy and every bit of talent I have to try to make a difference for Pennsylvania. You will do that. The website where we see as this continues, as you get started, Dave. Yes, sir. DaveMcCormickPA.com. Thank you very much, Senator-elect, and we'll talk very soon. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you. Thanks for having me. All right, Dave McCormick here on Talk Radio 1210 as he heads into January 3rd. So we'll see. I agree with Stefanik. To me, that is just a brilliant pick. All right, this is a 2-4 before we get to Money Melody, which, by the way, Dan, has a visual element today.
Yes, it does.
And people can go Yes.
Sorry, youtube.com/@1210WPHT. Please go like, subscribe, and click the notification button. We'll hit your phone whenever we're on air.
Okay. That's an added factor there. Will you throw them a Frisbee?
Possibly.
Possibly.
Yeah.
You know,
Then you can add in the VR
we have
component
to work the Frisbee stuff into mulligans here somehow or another. All right.
Big Frisbee guy.
Joe of Exton, not only the side question today, one of our leading candidates for Caller of the Year, but Dan, a tip for meeting women.
Oh, man.
Get ready. Write
Woo.
this down out there. Make sure you tape this. Let's go to Joe of Exton. Hey, Joe. Good afternoon.
Yes. Hello, Dom. Good afternoon. Let me see now.
Would you give us your Canadian first?
Yeah, we want the Canadian.
The Canadian first, Joe.
My Canadian thing is McGill University in Montreal. I'm naturally attracted, drawn towards institutions of higher learning. If I didn't have this glaucoma eye problem, I would be visiting libraries and reading books day and night.
Oh, my goodness.
This is such a touching answer, Joe. That's a tough answer, man.
That's really good. Yeah.
And beautiful to hear. And the higher institution, no surprise there. But I wish you could be out there in those libraries.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of those books.
Exactly.
And my comment is, tell Henry if he wants to meet women to become a Chippendale.
Oh!
They're looking for guys who are tall and well built.
Hey, before you go, Joe, is this another wrinkle to the past life of Joe and Exton? Were you once a Chippendale?
No, if I were younger, I would. Yeah, but.
Thank you, Joe.
The in-house love guru, Joe of Exton.
Joe of Exton, the Chippendale chapters.
I don't think I don't think he's going to these universities only for the books.
That's right.
Some co-eds might be in his sights as well.
Right. That's the daytime. Nighttime, it's a Chippendale. He did go to the University of Florence. I mean, on brand again. Don't forget, Joe is one of the nominees probably for Caller of the Year based upon everything.
Come on.
Well, I'm trying to be objective here. I get in trouble if not. But, hit us, make your case, and tomorrow we'll ask again. And then next week we'll have some nominees up, Dan. You think 8 this time? That's a pretty good number, don't you think?
We'll do a bracket of 8.
Bracket of 8.
Yep.
The 8 finalists for the Caller of the Year. I think there was only 1 or 2 females on there last year. Leslie, I know, was on there. Joe was on there. All right, so hit us with that. Tell us why you think they're the Caller of the Year, either on Twitter at DomShow1210 or when you call in. Phone lines are 855-839-1210. And right now, it is time for...
It's the Money Melody.
So the money gone.
That's right. We're playing for a pair of tickets to see A Beautiful Noise, the Neil Diamond musical, on December 10th at the Forest Theater in Philadelphia. For tickets, visit ensembleartsphilly.org. Dan?
Yeah, so head over to youtube.com/@1210WPHT. Please go like and subscribe because today there's a visual aid to what we're doing for Money Melody. Dom, we're talking about a queen of her own genre. In the 2000s, this girl blasted to fame. But before that, she was just a 10-year-old singing the national anthem of her home country. So, Dom, who is this starlet who's only 10 years old here, who later went on to be a queen of her own genre? Take a listen and take a watch. youtube.com/@1210WPHT. Okay, I think we had enough of it.
All right. Yeah, and the national anthem's not star. I mean, I like ours and the Russian national anthem, definitely.
Oh, I like the Canadian one.
You like the Canadian?
Oh,
the Russian national anthem, you see the comrades there. You can see Putin all putting plutonium in your drink. All right, Dan.
So hailing from the province of Ontario, this young 10-year-old here singing the national anthem of her home country went on to become just the queen of a certain genre in the 2000s, Dom, really blasting into fame with a song about let's say extreme sport. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's all right. It's 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. Hit us with that. You're off to see A Beautiful Noise. Your call's next on Talk Radio 1210.
Honey, bags are packed and in the trunk. Is the car good to drive to Mother's holiday dinner?
Yes, dear. Car's good. We have Ox Car Care for their extended car service plan. Ox covers our repair bills if anything happens. We have no worries if any problems come up on our holiday travels. Ox Car Care has our back.
I remember. Ox has flexible coverage plans that can protect issues with engine, transmission, brake systems, and so much more.
Yep, we don't pay. Ox pays. Ox gets it fixed for us. Joe at the auto shop says Ox Car Care pays them directly, and there's no complicated paperwork. Ox is A+ rated, with already millions of dollars paid out in claims.
Right. They handled our claim from start to finish, unlike those other companies. Good call. The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill this holiday. The only thing now is, which pie is Aunt Martha making?
Drive with absolute peace of mind this holiday season. Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-458-0279. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox today. 800-458-0279. 800-458-0279. Or oxcarcare.com.
Hey, radio listeners, don't miss the Legacy Box Cyber Week sale going on now.
You've heard about Legacy Box all year long, and with our Cyber Week sale, now is the time to take advantage of our best sale of the year. Legacy Box is the most meaningful gift you can give this holiday season. It's simple, safe, and has been trusted by millions.
That's right, it's our best sale of the year. Right now, when you go to LegacyBox.com, you can save an unreal 65% on your Legacy Box.
And for a limited time, you can preserve your tapes, film reels, and photos for as low as $27, saving you hundreds.
Hurry, our best sale of the year won't last long. Visit LegacyBox.com for an unreal 65% off during our Cyber Week sale. With limited quantities ready to ship, this deal will go fast.
Shop our Cyber Week sale now at LegacyBox.com/value to take 65% off. Buy your Legacy Box today and send in when you're ready. LegacyBox.com/value.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business, with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world, protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
In Virginia Beach, our locals live the life every day. The art of living the life starts by connecting with what matters most: happiness. When you visit, you will realize that happiness is a real place and that it is here in Virginia Beach.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-253-6259. 800-253-6259. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-253-6259.
Local news can come at you fast. Want the latest on what's happening in your backyard? Download the free Odyssey app. Follow your local news station, and you'll get alerts on the top stories making headlines in your city. You can stay in the know, no matter what you're up to, and be among the first to find out when news breaks. Plus, keep tabs on weather and traffic, so you're never caught off guard. To get started, download the Odyssey app. That's AUDACY, and follow your local news station.
Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel yet? Do it today at 1210 WPHT.
It's the Money Melody.
has all the money gone?
Show me the money.
That's right. You've heard the clues. Let's listen to the sound again. Tell us who is singing this. All right, and YouTube, you got a visual.
Yeah, youtube.com/@12WPHT. We have a 10-year-old singing here who later went on, discovered by Shania Twain, out of Canada, became a queen of a certain genre in the early 2000s, Dom.
All right, let's go to Pam in White Marsh. All right, Pam, who's singing the song? Hey, Pam?
Shania Twain.
No, Twain discovered, apparently. Was it Shania Twain discovered? Yeah. Sean in Cheltenham, not Cheltenham. Check, Henry? Cheltenham or Cheltenham?
Oh, I don't know.
Cheltenham.
Cheltenham?
Cheltenham. Oh, you'd be amazed the number of people that say Cheltenham. I had to call England one time to get them on. I'm serious. Sean in Cheltenham. Hey, Sean, how do you say it, first of all? Cheltenham or Cheltenham?
It is Cheltenham.
It is not Cheltenham. We're not in England. Come on, Sean.
I don't care. I was raised in Philadelphia. My mother called it Cheltenham Avenue. My grandmother called it Cheltenham Avenue. What is it? Is it Broad and Shelton or is it Broad and Shelton?
Oh.
Is it Chicago or is it Chicago?
Well, nice wordplay there.
Chicanery or is it chicanery?
Oh,
This isn't the first time he's had this argument.
He's been saving this up. This guy's great. Is it not? Is it niche? Or
it is niche.
Oh God! See right there. He ended it.
Sean.
Okay.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
Okay. Any more, Sean, that you have that back up your phony
I
Cheltenham?
probably have too many for you.
All right, Henry, call Cheltenham right now. Get the powers. They're going to tell us it's Cheltenham. No, they were wrong. Your mother, grandmother, and you are definitely wrong.
Cheltenham.
Okay.
They're going to say it's Cheltenham.
Call the Cheltenham schools, Henry. Just kidding. And if they answer the phone, do they say Cheltenham schools? Say, are you in merry old England? All right, Sean, who's singing the song? Let's get a prize for you.
Alanis Morissette.
After all that, not 10. No, thank you, Sean.
Oh, man.
Dan, you don't know how many times I've been through. This is one of the localisms that's just wrong. It is not Cheltenham.
It's Cheltenham.
It's Cheltenham.
Oh,
yes.
you almost slipped.
You almost slipped there, Dom.
I'm near Chelten Avenue in Germantown. It's Chelten, not Shelton Avenue. Yeah, it's that too. Yeah. Let's go.
I didn't mean to do that, but it worked.
Yeah, let's go to Dan. You want to give another clue here? Sean's a great car. I hope he calls again. That was brilliant stuff.
It's really not that complicated.
Yeah. All right. No. All right. No more clues.
No, that was the clue.
Oh, okay. That's the clue.
So much for your happy ending.
All right. Let's go to John in Phoenixville. John, who is it?
Celine Dion.
Oh man, we're getting farther away. Celine Dion. Or is it Charlene Dion?
He was a boy.
She was a girl.
She was a girl. Can I make it any more obvious?
Okay. I think, do we have any more? We'd take this one off.
Harry in Upper Darby's got one.
All right, Harry in Upper Darby. Please, God. Harry. Oh.
No.
All right, he hung up. Take it off air. 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless. Look at the visual. Dan, YouTube. Go there now.
Right to Rob. Rob, what is it? Rob, can you tell us what it is?
Rob.
Did you say it's not really complicated?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, well, I just lost her name now.
Oh, no. Come on. You can do
Jesus. It's not Jesus. It is.
Come on.
It is.
Oh.
Give it the first letter, Dan.
A.
Hey, now you got me. That girl said the wrong name.
Come on.
Gail. Who is the singer, Gail?
Avril Lavigne.
Oh, there we go. Finally.
All right. Say it again. I was a little muddled there. I'll put you on. Well, I'd have to put you on. Who is it, Dan?
That's Avril Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne.
Yeah, the queen of early 2000s punk there. And what you heard there was a 10-year-old Avril Lavigne singing the national anthem of Canada. Congratulations for winning the prize.
Now, that's much different versus, was Taylor Swift 10 when we play that, the great Eminem song she did?
No, that was early in her career. She was actually on stage, like, doing a performance.
Okay, she was a bit older. I was going to say, quite a difference. Okay, 855.
Gail, hang right there. We'll get your information.
Yeah, we'll get it, Gail. Congratulations on that. Oh, my God. All right, that's the side question today. Due to that Trump joke, you just heard it from the table with Dave McCormick there. Trump telling Trudeau, we'll make you governor. You get half of the country then. We'll make it the 51st state. That's a question. You know, would we want Canada to be the 51st state? No. I mean, it's a step down. It's backwards. Sorry about that, but it is. What would be gained by that? Second biggest country in the world, though. That's a side question today. Something associated with Canada. By the way, I bet they don't have Wawa in Canada. And guess what? Center City, Philadelphia is rapidly not having Wawa. Another Wawa is closed. They're closing it over on 16th and Randstad Streets in Center City. Sign in the building announces it'll be shuttered on Sunday, although they said the following day would be the store's last. And they said that what they're doing here, we're not able to provide the kind of in-store experience that Wawa, that customers can expect. The company blamed several closures in the city on crime and homelessness, although data at the time showed the store at 16th and Randstad actually had the most incident reports of any Wawa in the city. Here we go again. When is Wawa, though, just going to say, hey, it's this guy. It's Larry Krasner. How much of this stuff do we have to fool around with that we see this happening? Let's go to Robert in Ben Salem on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Robert.
Hey, Dom. Dan, it's good to talk to you guys today.
Thanks.
Before I get to my answer, I wanted to weigh in on, and I don't think Henry needs advice, to be honest with you, but lines are for guys that don't have a rep. Now, if you don't have a rep, that's fine.
Right.
You just have to be a good listener and know how to get them talking. And then once they start talking, you'll fall into the conversation without a problem. You'll think, wow, this isn't hard. But there's a caveat. You know in the Bronx Tale, if the girl didn't reach over and unlock your door, dump her?
Yes.
Okay. Well, once she starts talking, if she never asks you about yourself, pay the check and leave, okay? Because that's
great
not
advice.
Fair.
How about when a kid says, dump her? Dump her!
Yeah. Well, I don't think you can dump her anymore without paying a check and leaving quietly, so that's what I suggest.
But you know what? That is very skillful advice. Get her talking. Then she has to mix you into the subject. Be a good listener. Authentic, hopefully, that you're
natural.
interested. Yeah.
It's like good offense from a good defense. You know, you start listening and you wind up talking and you didn't even know where you got the courage from.
And you can tell if you look up and 3 hours has gone by and you've been talking, it's a keeper.
Yeah. Especially if you actually care about what she's saying. That's a definite keeper.
Well, definitely. That's the premise. No, wait a minute, though, Robert. You think this is superior to Dan's technique of throwing Frisbees near picnic baskets?
I say that whatever works for you is a good idea. How's that?
What office are you running for? Yes.
We're guys. We got to take the chances. We got to try things. That's part of our job. So go for it. You know,
exactly.
You never know.
Exactly.
You know, but you took a little bit of my thunder with the Wawa, but I was going to go with Canadian geese, and I was kind of mystified by this because Wawa was started in the Philadelphia area, but Wawa, the word comes from a Canadian Native American tribe in Canada, I guess, called the Ojibwe, and for them, Wawa means wild goose. It's kind of a big thing up there. I looked it up, and the guy who founded Wawa said he used that symbol because it was a iconic symbol of teamwork. Which, okay, I didn't know geese worked well together.
Well, they do. They fly in don't they fly in a V like ducks?
Yeah, they do. That's true. They're annoying on golf courses. What's with the golf courses? Yeah, but what's with the golf courses that let them mess all over the place, and you got to play it through and say it's nature?
Well, put them dog posters up there. There's lakes that have dogs running around on them. I don't know what to tell you about that, Dom. But you guys have a great day, man.
Thank you,
great
Robert.
as always.
The guy always delivers. My God, it's on brand. One of the caller of the year possibilities this year. That was good advice. Just get people talking, and then you can go from there.
Not the Frisbee?
Not the Frisbee. He said, well, he was being nice. He said, if the Frisbee gets her talking, then you can go from there.
I have a sound effect of when I first met Maisie.
All right, go ahead. We've never heard Maisie come forward on this. Ro will be texting you, Dan. I explained to her what was going on here. And she said, how can Henry stand this? She thinks Henry's right. All right, 855-839-1210. Yeah.
Did I anger her by
No, not anger her. No, she
PowerPoint
just says her own. Well, I'm going to ask her when I get home, though. Yeah, you haven't been fixing anybody up. What happened to that?
Yeah.
Too busy?
The matchmaker herself.
Yeah, it's always like I got this guy in the back pocket, or usually the female, they have females, and the fix-up happens.
Well, now you got to tell her, start making some PowerPoints,
Exactly.
That's how it's done in 2024.
PowerPoints.
Yeah, PowerPoints at bars.
Imagine the nerds engaging.
Everybody's got to have a brand. You just got to show it off to the world. That's today's day and age.
I like Joe Exton's brand today, too. It was right on point, sort of bizarre, the Chippendales guy. Oh, God. All right, 855-839-1210. You can get in here on Talk Radio 1210. Tackle the NFL action on FanDuel. That's in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL's all-in-one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com/Dom, D-O-M, to join today. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com/Dom. Never waste a hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
A wind advisory remains in effect as an Arctic cold front moves through the region. We'll see some sunshine with temperatures dropping through the 30s, winds gusting up to near 50 miles per hour. Tonight, windy and cold, mostly clear with a low 26. And for Friday, mixture of sun and clouds, not as windy with a high 38.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
Hey, Dawn here. When it comes to your home, trust is everything. For 45 years, Kitchen Magic has built a reputation for transforming kitchens with precision and care. From custom cabinets to countertops, backsplashes, in just a few days, your dream kitchen becomes a reality without all the hassle. Trust the name your neighbors have relied on for decades. Kitchen Magic. Get your free in-home consultation at kitchenmagic.com. Kitchenmagic.com. Let's cook up something extraordinary. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Seems everyone has an opinion on where the stock market is going, but where should you be going? Find out with Joe Yakovich on The Heart of Your Money, Sundays at 9 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. Wherever I go, online security is a top priority for me. In my personal life, on the job, with the family. That's why I subscribe to Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo. I do feel so secure and worry-free thanks to Privacy Pro's 3-in-1 subscription service. DuckDuckGo VPN, personal information removal, and identity theft restoration. So it helps protect your personal info from being exploited by those hackers. scammers or privacy invasive companies. I discovered DuckDuckGo years ago. It's an independent browser search engine, and millions use it. DuckDuckGo Privacy Pro provides me with a VPN, secure encrypted Wi-Fi connection, which I trust. I love that the DuckDuckGo VPN works on browsers and apps across mobile and desktop, up to 5 devices at once. Get a 30-day free trial at duckduckgo.com/1210. Then you pay $9.99 a month. Do this, duckduckgo.com/1210. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, we'll get some advice on meeting women coming up from Note It. It's like Dr. Drew Pinsky. We had that guy on, Pastor Dr. Bill Devlin. But I just wanted to remind you of this Canadian side question. Leslie on Twitter, Leslie Fisherpine, unbelievable. She said, what about a keener? That's what they call someone in Canada who is a brown noser, going too far. A keener, Keener. And Guy Shiraki, what a source of information, reminded me, Philadelphia is where they gilded Wawa. They had to move into the city, particularly Center City. The argument was, they're too white, they're out there in the suburbs, maybe Northeast Philadelphia. And look at what happens. When is Wawa, that has a lot of money that they throw to the city, going to say, what are you doing here? They don't. They sort of just move on and say, well, homelessness, crime, etc. Well, why is that not taken care of? Even under the new police commissioner, etc., where they're trying, there's one reason. They're trying, Krasner's not. And I think that, I forgot this the other day, Dan, Elon Musk is apparently looking to fund, big time. Wouldn't it be ironic if Elon Musk said, how much is it going to take to defeat Larry Krasner? And I'd tell him when we get him on for this, of course, I'd say spend $5 million. Let's see what happens. That'll be enough.
Be nice.
Some people would say 2. I am saying no. I want 5 because I want him not only to lose, but lose by 10 points. Can you imagine that he went after Elon Musk? Didn't he think Elon Musk might come back and say that's enough? We'll see. All right, let's go to Note It, religionist, world traveler, and dating coach, Pastor Bill Devlin. Pastor, welcome in.
He's a dating coach, man.
A dating coach. Thank you for joining us.
In some areas, they actually call me Dr. Love.
Yeah, well,
Love.
thank you.
But,
So what psalm or biblical passage might you use meeting a woman, which you suggest?
Well, I would say stay away from Song of Solomon, but I actually used one. Here's what I did when I was dating my wife the night, and I met her in college, and her boyfriend at that time introduced me to her.
Wait a minute. That's a sin. That is a sin. That is sinful behavior right there.
Did you steal her away, Bill?
Yes.
Forgive me, Lord, but hey, 45 years later, we're still in love and still on our honeymoon. But I actually used the verse from the Psalms, the book of Psalms, and it was, let us rejoice the Lord together. So, of course, my wife had to wait 2 years before I got up the guts to, or my girlfriend, she had to wait 2 years until I had the guts to ask her to spend the rest of her life with me. But, hey,
that's 2 years is it? Rookie numbers. I took 7 years, so...
Wait a minute. Okay. I want to weigh in on that. I took 3 months, and I didn't say anything. I said, well, of course we're getting married. No, I just said, of course we're getting married. What do you think was going on here? That was it.
Yeah, of course, I tell my kids when I first met your mother, I said to her that I said, you, Nancy, remind me of an overdue library book. And she said, why? I said, because you got fine written all over you.
Henry, stop writing that one down. No.
So, Pastor Bill, do you advise a male to go to church to meet a female?
Oh, goodness.
Definitely. Absolutely, 100%. Even though I said in my text that 50% of the couples that I've married in the last 4 to 5 years have met online. But, yeah, I mean, if you go to Calvary Chapel in Northeast Philadelphia, it's a church of 10,000. You go there, one of 3 services and Sunday morning, if you can't find a woman to marry, then maybe you should go online. So go to Calvary Chapel. Go to your local Catholic church. You got to go. Go to Deliverance Evangelistic. They have 5,000 members, and just hang out there.
Wait a minute.
Or later,
but the NAC, Jim Worthington, they have 13,000 members.
Say that Bill, you preface the text by saying, first off, though, you need to go for the right reason to worship God, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. You need to go for the right reason you're worshiping God. Stay away from the gym, okay? You're just going to meet, and particularly if you're a woman, you're just going to meet a lot of meatheads at the gym. So forget that. And the guys you meet at the gym, women, are not guys you want to spend the rest of your life with. Go to a godly guy.
Wait, Dom spends a lot of time in the gym. Are you saying?
Well, formerly I did, but yes.
Dom was a gym rat at one point.
Yeah, Bill.
Even Dr. Jim Corey,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm not in favor of the gym. So go meet a godly guy, a guy that loves Jesus, a guy that is going to be honest, trustworthy, committed, faithful, and just go to church and spend the rest of your life with him or her. If you're a guy, meet a woman. If you're a girl, meet a great guy. That's my high recommendation. And by the way, if you want to call me, I've got plenty of young women that are looking for non-weird guys. You got to remember, Dom, Dan, and Henry, I have 3 daughters, and they're all married. They're all having kids. And they said to me, Dad, just get us introduced to a guy that's not weird. So there are a lot of weirdos out there, and I highly recommend you go to church.
Thank you, Pastor Bill Devlin. Oh, my goodness. Dan, one moment, he's helping people with the vaccine thing. Yeah, out of my whole career in talk radio, my top 10 of characters of people you can't make up. Joe of Exton's definitely there, but Pastor Bill Devlin is right there.
And to Bill's point about going to church to meet a male or a woman, I think at this point, a lot of the killers, date 2, date 3, is when politics come out, and then you're like, I can't spend my life with a liberal or conservative. I mean, if you're going to church, it's pretty good chance you're going to meet a conservative there. So,
is that really a thing? We have to talk about that. I just get if you're really polarized, if you have somebody that's really progressive and somebody that's really Trumpian, odds are they would have trouble. But if you're mildly Democrat, mildly Republican, it's hard enough to find out. Why would you let that come
I don't care what what your politics are, as long as you don't throw it in my face.
Yeah, well, that's what I said.
Care,
I mean, if it's that, then probably not going to work out.
No.
Yeah, exactly. We got to settle this. This is worse than the niche thing. This guy in Cheltenham who had a whole pad ready. Yeah, and said niche, too. This guy, it's wrong. All right? I'm telling you, if you call over the Cheltenham, any authority will say it's Cheltenham. They resent the Cheltenham thing. Let's go to Charlie in Wayne. That's Main Line. No, wait a minute. Wayne, Pennsylvania. I'm not sure. That's a town. Hey, Charlie, settle this for us.
It certainly is. Well, there's a simple solution. Just get in touch with Benjamin Netanyahu and ask him where he went to high school.
Well, true. That's true. We know that, and
he'll probably say Cheltenham. And I grew up just near Cheltenham Avenue, and it was Cheltenham.
Yes.
Always Cheltenham Avenue.
I know this affectation of the Shelton. I'm glad you settled that for us. Thank you, Charlie. Dan, I was doing morning drive at DB, and the guy the program director, got in there and called up England and put them on the air simply to say, settle this. And it's clear. Come on, it's a localism to say Cheltenham.
They try to find Netanyahu saying Cheltenham.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's mentioned his high school at one point, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. There are other people that were prominent going there that you might look up saying it. Who? Well, Butch Beal, Rizzo's, had me there on the dunk tank in 40-degree weather, and everybody was saying Cheltenham was right in front of the high school. Okay, coming up, we have the lightning round, though. We'll settle this at 855-839-1210, AT&T, and Verizon Wireless. Hey, just one note so that I don't forget. Kash Patel is a little bit more in the back page now because of Pete Hegseth. But when he comes up, this piece today, do Democrats know Obama gave Kash Patel an award for hunting down terrorists? A lot has been said about Patel, but Obama, this New York Times profile of him, did get an award from President Obama, served in that administration in a capacity, and got the award for hunting down terrorists. My point is, when we get to Kash Patel, you're going to see a guy that's been deputy of just about every major department in government, and even during Democrat administrations. So this idea that we should pardon all these people because he thinks there's a deep state is ridiculous. You're not going to see wholesale retribution or anything else. All right, get in on the lightning round, though. A lot of things still out there on Canada. 855-839-1210. Happy holidays to all. And it's the perfect time to remind you about Rescue Natural Supplements and their Deck the Hall sale. Right now, you can save up to 78% on exceptional natural supplements for every area of your health, from essentials like omega-3s, probiotics, to cholesterol support, natural pain relief, and more. And the best part, over a dozen health-boosting rescue products are marked down under $20. Get started or stock up today. Call 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Speak to a rescue product consultant or shop online at res-q.com, res-q.com. With Rescue, you can reinforce your immune system, boost energy, and reach your health goals again. There's no code needed to save up to 78% site-wide. So just get a head start on your health. Visit res-q.com. Do it today.
Walter Sterling.
The Court of King Crimson. This is awful. This is just a terrible album. I got 50 people going, "No, Walter, you're wrong. Oh, no, this is wonderful. It was brilliant." I'm like, it wasn't brilliant. It was crap. It was stoned out of your mind crap.
Sterling. Every damn night. Sunday through Friday nights at 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Times are tough. Sometimes a paycheck just doesn't cut it. Today, more people than ever need our help. I'm Ernie Russell, Board President of the Catholic Charities Appeal of the Archdiocese of Philadelphia. Through the annual appeal, nearly 1 million people in our community receive help through shelters, soup kitchens, schools for special education, and so much more. Please donate today. Your gift matters.
Please donate at CatholicCharitiesAppeal.org. That's CatholicCharitiesAppeal.org.
Listen, here's the secret to your holiday savings. Ready? You can get gifts starting at just $3.99. Toys from Disney, Mattel, Barbie, Sonic, Looney Tunes, Fisher-Price, Play-Doh, Nerf, Hot Wheels, and more. You can put a bow on these brands and won't break the bank. Adidas, Champion, Puma, Reebok, Converse, True Religion, DKNY, and Levi's are all at prices so low, they're basically a gift. The savings are hiding at You can put a bow on these brands and won't break the bank.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly, and it's 100% free to you if you are on Medicaid. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782 to get started today. You get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
Freedom Care, we're here for you.
Hey, radio listeners, don't miss the Legacy Box Cyber Week sale going on now.
You've heard about Legacy Box all year long, and with our Cyber Week sale, now is the time to take advantage of our best sale of the year. Legacy Box is the most meaningful gift you can give this holiday season. It's simple, safe, and has been trusted by millions.
That's right. It's our best sale of the year. Right now, when you go to LegacyBox.com, you can save an unreal 65% on your Legacy Box.
And for a limited time, you can preserve your tapes, film reels, and photos for as low as $27, saving you hundreds.
Hurry, our best sale of the year won't last long. Visit LegacyBox.com for an unreal 65% off during our Cyber Week sale. With limited quantities ready to ship, this deal will go fast.
Shop our Cyber Week sale now at LegacyBox.com/value to take 65% off. Buy your Legacy Box today and send in when you're ready. LegacyBox.com/value.
Hey, this is Jimmy Fallon in the house, and dig this, folks. This is not a drill. It's the real thing. You can now join me weeknights from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT or anywhere on the free Odyssey app.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
Hey, one note before we go to the lightning round. Oh, first of all, Dom's Lightning Round is sponsored by Cherry Hill Volvo. Right now, lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. See stores for details. They always go the extra mile for their customers because relationships matter at Cherry Hill Volvo. Just saw this from the Senate testimony today as Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy get started. The guesstimate was that only 6% of federal workers are working in their office full-time, actually going into work. Part of me says there's less mischief for them to do, not a bad thing. And Musk says when you take away maintenance and security, it's closer to only 1% of the people we pay for, federal employees, that are actually showing up to work, even after COVID and everything else. Just think of all those buildings, 1%. So what are they going to do about it? They've identified a problem that could save billions right there. What are they going to do about it? We'll see. We're not even into the administration yet. Only 1% actually there. All right, let's go to Joe in Bordentown, Talk Radio 1210. Joe, what's Canadian?
About my answer to the side question would be curling, which the Canadians dominate in the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, they do. And every time I see it, I think, oh, that's cute. If you were at a bar and everyone's drinking after that, can you imagine curling? It's like bocce on ice or something. That's about what it is.
It's awesome. On ice, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll launch a Dom Giordano show curling team.
But
you can be the rock guy.
It would be more.
The brooms.
It would be more on.
I got to be the rock guy.
Point to do bocce, I think.
It's Dom's name.
Yeah. Let's go to Gary in Newtown. Talk Radio 1210. How about yours, Gary?
All right. So Canada is roughly the same size as the U.S., about 10 million square miles. But 10% of it is water. It's got the largest coastline on the planet. It's the world's largest international border with the U.S., and 28% of it is tundra. So I'm going to go with tundra is my answer for today.
That's a pretty good one. It's the second biggest country in the world. I'm not sure if Russia's the biggest.
Yeah.
Gotta be. Yeah. Siberia alone, right?
Right.
And or replace Texas as the biggest state.
Okay.
Yeah,
but
Canada.
it is just
Alaska.
It is desolate, yeah. Drew in Upper Darby. Now, Drew always goes to the mattresses, get some information here. Drew, what's yours?
Hey, Dom, thanks. Appreciate that. You know, in Canada, rather than having states, they have provinces. And in the easternmost part of Canada, they're noted as being called the maritime provinces. And maritime is a seafaring word. So for example, when the explorers landed in the New World, their first landing spot was the most eastern part of North America, and it was a maritime province like Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island. So provinces. Thanks, Tom.
Very nice. We used to say, and I think it's still true, I'd have to ask our engineer, we reach, well, at least after dark, 38 states in Canada, most of Canada, this signal.
Can we end it at Canada? They don't need to hear us.
Yeah, well, when we broadcast from Gitmo, we were able to hear ourselves on the radio there. Not through back here, but it reaches Gitmo.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
awesome.
It was hard to believe. Oh, all right. I'm getting a signal already. All right, let's go to Joe in Westchester, Talk Radio 1210. What's yours, Joe?
Oh, well, there was a couple things that you guys must know about. The one thing was, Canadian.
Give us your answer, Joe.
We need to get to the answer when we bring you on.
Answer, Joe.
AM Broadcasting.
Thank you, Joe. AM Broadcasting. All right, Henry, what's yours?
Yeah, so I thought Joe, the trucker who's in Indiana right now, started off the show hot with the beer with Clamato mixture. That
was pretty good.
Disgusting.
And his explanation of what they do in Canada, he's been there, was good.
Yeah, and then I also liked Gary and Newtown's answer of the tundras.
That was very factual.
Topological. Yeah, I like learning something.
No, I mean, it brought into how big it is, but still not a lot of people. All right, Dan, how about yours?
I really like the answer of the clam eye, the red eye in Western Canada, the beer and clam.
Okay, yeah. And the guy was there and actually witnessed it,
Yeah,
and it was a
it's
beautiful
disgusting.
call. Yeah, Joe the Trucker. All right, so put Joe the Trucker into the hat. That's the winner for today. Still no verdict in the New York case of Daniel Penny, indicating this jury is just torturing everybody. They want to get the guy on something, and the people on the jury that want to get him for the jackpot are not going to win. This shouldn't go on. I mean, how much more evidence do you need? What possibly could you go back and forth with? And my answer is they're looking for a compromise, happens in these cases, which is to try to nail him with something and saying, we got him. Instead of, let's start the parade. I want to see who starts a parade for him after this is all over. We'd love to bring him here, without a doubt. SEPTA might be able to use more of this versus what we're seeing play out in New York. All right, we are back again tomorrow. Great guest today. Love talking with Dave McCormick. We got to get the Village People founder on. We're working on that because he says America needs more joy. Trump is bringing joy with this. It's such a random thing, but it works. They're doing it all over the place. What could possibly be wrong with it? And Dan reveals more of his past. Which guy was it again? The Cowboy.
Yes, the Cowboy.
The Cowboy.
Boogie Nights, Tom, in Atlantic City, yes.
Okay. All right, and take that tip. I don't know who gave the better tip today, Bill Devlin or Dan. Probably Henry. You just have to walk in there and say hello. That's it, and start from there. Robert of Ben Salem had the best advice. Get her talking and then interrupt at various points, and you got it. All right, Rich C. always next for 4 big hours. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Do you know when the best time to buy investment properties is? It's now. It's always now. You just need to learn how to buy them correctly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night and learn how to buy investment properties and make money every time. That's right. That's what we teach. We teach how to buy investment properties and make money every time. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now. Take a class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Don't go through life ignorant about how to become a millionaire. Learn how to invest in real estate, the stock market, precious metals, and learn from an expert. At Investor Schooling, we teach these things and more. We only provide education, and we will teach you how to leverage real estate, how to leverage the stock market, and how to leverage precious metals to make more money than you've ever made before. Go to investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday. We will see you there, investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
It's Joe Conklin with the City Rhythm Orchestra at Westchester University and Pittman, New Jersey in February.
Alan Iverson, Joel Embiid.
My dad set this up. This was actually a Christmas gift to bring us all together, come see Joe and relive all the Philadelphia history. It's amazing.
That's Conklin with City Rhythm and the story of Philly sports through music. Westchester University on February 21st and the Broadway Theater in Pittman, New Jersey on February 22nd. Tickets to a Conklin show make great holiday gifts. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. JoeConklin.com! This Merrill Reese update is brought to you by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865.
Nick Sirianni was asked this week to compare Jalen Carter to some of the great players the Eagles have faced, like Aaron Donald. Nick didn't take the bait. With 5 games plus playoffs ahead, he's not going to propose any of his players for Canton, Ohio. Nick merely said he's playing well, but still has things to work on.